their entire list on this one website and did not find anything about black people besides Blade.
I remember Alphas.
And
Alphas.
I mean,
Alphas.
I liked
That's
Alphas,
fine.
but
Alphas was good.
what I didn't like about Alphas was that they always did the black dude dirty. He
Yeah.
had one episode where he wasn't a loser, and then he was a loser by the end of that episode. I was like, come on,
True.
man.
This is true. This is
I
very
was
true.
like, he finally got over his little heart issue, and he could just let loose with all his super strength. Because Hicks never had any problems using his abilities. Hicks was out here shooting bullets out of the air. He was out here like, beating bad guys with a baseball, and like he could beat you with a nickel if he wanted to.
It was basically Deadshot. I'm not
Yeah.
Deadshot. Bullseye.
Bullseye. He was Bullseye, and the black dude was supposed to be super strong, but his heart issue, he couldn't use it for long. So basically, all he did is like move refrigerators and vending machines around. Like that's pretty much what he did. He like blocked the door with the vending machine, refrigerator.
That was
Like,
basically.
he never picked anything up, and he was always too slow to hit anybody. So it was like his super strength was useless.
Very disappointing. It was the realism of super strength in my.
Yeah, but they Hicks shooting a bullet out of the air is ridiculous. It takes way more science fiction to shoot a bullet out of the air. I don't care how coordinated you are than it does to have super strength.
Didn't the dude who was Bullseye stop a bullet like by throwing a penny or some shit? Or he did something.
You talking about in the new Daredevil?
No, in Alphas.
Oh, in Alpha.
He did something.
No, he shot it out of midair. Like somebody was about to shoot the black dude, and he just aimed where it was gonna be and shot right before that bullet shot the black dude.
Okay. Yeah, see, no. It was the only cool power I thought was the autism kid being able to see.
Yeah, Gary.
Yeah, Gary, he was able to see the light and
the electromagnetic spectrum.
Electromagnetic spectrum, yeah.
spectrum.
He could send an email by flicking his fingers.
Pretty
Love
much.
that. I wanted that power.
That power is ridiculous.
Yes, absolutely.
But
he was misusing it. He was misusing it. You could
He
hack
wasn't-
somebody.
If he wasn't giving it to me, he was definitely misusing it.
Exactly.
he could hack somebody from just from being in an area. He could just be like, password.
Look at people's messages. And
Yeah.
just be like, oh, this person's gonna be at this place. Maybe I should
He was like one step. He was one step from being a technopath. All he had to do was build an interface or get a satellite in the sky, and then it's over. The man could control the world.
Whole world.
Flick of his fingers.
Yep.
But of course, Nina was the strongest. She could literally make people do whatever she wanted. So
I feel sorry for the girl who,
which is a power I definitely would never abuse.
I feel sorry for the girl who.
Like we would kill you right now if you had that power.
Oh, facts, 100%. You
You
don't.
wouldn't have the option to kill me. Though.
You go.
You'd have to look us in our actual eyes. We'd never be around you. Now, if you're smart and you hid it from us, yes, you'd be the greatest villain in the history of villains. But we would take you out right now if you had that power. It's just some people don't.
Humanity.
Yeah, some people don't need to be that powerful. They're not responsible.
Man, this is gonna
100%.
kill me if I don't find this damn show.
Figure
Seriously,
it out.
I'm gonna be highly
Maybe it was
upset.
a CW show. You know how you are.
Oh no.
Nope, didn't come on CW.
No, because he wouldn't remember the show. He'd only remember the commercials. It was the CW show.
It was definitely not a CW show.
Damn. Wow.
He'd be like, had
Y'all
that one
niggas ready?
commercial.
Ready.
Oh my god.
Ready.
All right.
Ready.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us and welcome to the podcast. Follow us at Blerdimension here on YouTube and Instagram. If you haven't already, turn on notifications so you can be the first to know when we got new content for you. I'm Kavon, Negrito Suave. We got JK, Beasternal.
What it do? What it do? What it do?
Got Creston, not Sir.
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's staying safe out there.
Oh, good gracious.
Yeah,
As safe as we can be, you know?
that
Mhm.
part. Got AJ and Auslinja.
How's everybody doing? I am not worried about the state of our entire planet. Very calm here. There's no stress or anything. Just feels good. Feels good to be alive.
Yeah,
For however long we got left.
Yo, I was about to say that shit. JD creates activity.
Hello, everyone. I am heavily worried about the state of our planet, and it's stressful as fuck. Explaining it to a 10-year-old is also stressful,
Oof.
so there's that.
Oh.
That's pain right there.
And yeah, I kind of just want these grown ass men to sit down and fucking chill. But I mean, they're not gonna do that, so we are where we are.
But I do like
Let's
my
talk some
parents
nerdy
did
shit.
Let's
Let's take a quick filter.
We got
A
Carl
quick dose of,
XKBHX.
content.
What's going on? Fortunately, there has been zero news played in my house for at least a month or two. So my kids have no idea what's going on. So they're not asking no questions. Thank God.
Hey, that's
My
good.
daughter's teachers directly commented about it during school, and then yeah, just sent them home for us to answer questions. So
No. Wow. All our pronouns are he, him, and his. We got 3 segments for y'all. We're gonna talk about some nerdy news and headlines. Then we got a topic of the week. This week we talking about, AI getting rights out here. Last but not least, we're gonna talk about what we've been consuming this week and what's good. That means games we've been playing, shows and movies we've been watching, comics, manga, whatever we've been reading, all that good stuff. After the podcast, we're gonna switch over to after podcast gaming. We got the whole crew tonight. We're gonna play some Halo, some Rocket League, Orange vs. Blue style. So stick around for that. Let's get into these headlines, y'all. Starting with just a couple of quick updates about stuff we kind of already talked about. Yo, what up? We got Rizzo in the chat. And
welcome.
welcome.
Breaking news. I fucking found it.
You found it?
What is it called?
Oh my god.
It's called Superstition, and it was
Superstition.
on sci-fi.
There is superstition.
Oh,
And it
yeah,
was
of course
about-
they call it
It
superstition.
was about It was about a family named the Hastings family, owners of a funeral home, and it was in
Okay.
The Jesus
Lawrenceville,
family.
Georgia.
They have to do that.
Yeah,
So
they
what?
could have a black name because then it would be too black.
Well, if you look at the
Yo, this poster for it looks dope.
yeah, if you look at the poster for it, you'd be like, oh, this is black enough.
Just
Yeah.
black enough. There's some
But
new
yeah.
faces here, yeah. We was down a couple people last week.
Dope.
Call of Duty is adding this automatic god mode. Like if they detect somebody cheating basically and you're going up against them, they're gonna let you destroy them. Because they can't ban everybody.
Yeah.
And so they're just trying to take the fun out of it basically.
Yeah.
And I love
That's
it. It
cool.
sounds great.
So is this going to be on Warzone or all of the Call of Duties?
I think it
He
should.
only said
They don't specify. It says Call of Duty. They mention Warzone. They mention the Ricochet system, but they don't specify if it's going to be only Warzone.
When is this supposed to go live?
So I may have to jump in.
I know, right? Have y'all
Well, they haven't
experienced a
said.
cheater in Warzone?
think so.
I don't know.
Yes. Not in
have.
Warzone, but in Call of Duty, yeah. I think because there's a guy who was just kick flipping while he was shooting us. I had never seen
What?
anybody move this way. He was his character was moving so fast it looked like he was breakdancing while he was shooting us. That's how fast he was climbing up things, jumping off things, and moving. I was in my head, the only way my brain could process it was to give him breakdance moves. Because I was this is the only way he's doing these maneuvers. And he would just run by and you die immediately. And I was wow, I didn't know there was humans out there with reaction time that way. I didn't know people was cheating like that. But you could not kill this
Gordo?
person.
He looking like Eddie
He's-
Gordo doing spin kicks and shit.
Like you came in the
like,
room. If you come in the room, like it could be 3 people in the room. He would take all 3 people out immediately. No questions, no nothing. You just walk in,
Yeah, it's
everybody's
cheating.
shooting at him, and it's like everybody's dead.
Yeah.
But then
Damn.
Wow.
It might just
So-
be Warzone. They only mention Warzone by name.
I've never experienced a cheater in Warzone.
So how do you how do you activate the God mode again? Like,
If they detect it automatically, like if they detect that like you're in a gunfight with somebody who's cheating, they activate God mode for you.
So they have some sort of software that's
If he still
just
lose with
monitoring the
God
game. Hey yo, is it possible?
essentially, in order, so instead of banning cheaters, instead of hunting instead of going after the cheaters, the intent now is we can't fight them, so we'll basically just give you super cheats.
you weaponize the militia, right?
Why not?
Exactly.
You
I mean, I
can't
think it's in
actually-
addition to, but yeah.
You can't. You as the governing body can't actually fight this guerrilla warfare. So what do? You do like the great U.S. of A. and you drop the weapons in there, and their enemies get the weapons, and now it's like now you're fighting via proxy. Now we are like their avatar that goes out and slays these cheaters.
Why don't they just have them just all fall through the map?
Wouldn't that be
I don't know.
hysterical? Like if
just
you're
spawn.
detected cheating and then you just like go.
Well,
Like
I
as
think
soon as they land, they just fall through the map. And
I think
that's
they're
just that.
trying to make up for they ruined your game, right? Because you're playing honestly, and then somebody comes in and cheats. It's not satisfying enough to see them just disappear, right?
True.
not.
Yeah.
So no, it's way more satisfying to be like, oh, now it's my turn,
So
and then
reverse
Absolutely.
my
control
turn to
them.
cheat. Yeah, exactly. So I think it's really just that. I think it also helps in headlines because this is something they've been dealing with and they can't fix. And it helps to be like, hey, we're giving the power back to you, kind of thing. Even though to me it's just like you're giving me a job. I'm not gonna.
Giving me a chip.
You kind of want to cause discouragement,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, but you can drop them. You can do anything to discourage them. Why?
I
Is
mean,
it specifically?
If you
because-
get somebody God mode while they're using that other person using a cheat and they're just fucking your shit up, you'd be like, "What the hell's going on? Why can't I beat them?" And then you realize, "Oh shit, maybe it's because I'm using a cheat. Maybe let me stop using the cheat. Maybe I can play normally." No.
No, those people would never play normally. That is not in their nature.
And
That's
then
not-
they would stop
No.
playing the game. And
yeah,
that's
that's all that's gonna happen. It's because if these people wanted to play a game to have like fun and not just like ruin other people's day, like they, you know what I'm saying? Like you can play a 1-player game, like play Grand Theft Auto. That comes with cheats that everybody's aware of and has fun with, and you can do that. But they want to ruin somebody else's day.
Mm-hmm.
So,
if I don't use cheats in Warzone, I'll just go to Apex and use dual pistols instead.
Damn.
That's the thing.
that
Yes,
sounds like a
there's a
personal
glitch.
issue with
Right.
There's some hackers that made a glitch where they're using dual pistols and they are fully automatic.
That sounds like it'd be more fun.
More
I mean,
fun.
unless
That
it's the
does
R4.
sound fun. If it was legit,
it-
that'd be fun.
And I was like,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
I
that's
don't know
the
why there isn't dual
RE45,
wielding
that
in
makes
Apex.
sense.
and so because I saw they were talking about, there was a news clip about it, and a dude was sent a Twitter video, and it was a dude who was running around literally using dual pistols with fully hopped up with the hammer point, dual pistols, kitted out, and they were just killing motherfuckers. I was like, well, there goes the neighborhood.
Yeah. I mean, I think for League of Legends and Apex, we talked about this before, and they were saying they might send cheaters basically to fight with each other.
Yeah,
We talked about that a little bit
that'd be
before.
cool.
See, that would be
That's what I
entertaining.
meant. Yeah. I
That'd
think
be
it's just, instead of them being able to ruin your day and get that satisfaction,
Yeah.
fuck them up a little bit, or they can fuck each other up, I guess.
Preferred method.
Perfect.
How enjoyable would it be to see a Twitch channel where it's just them in a fight, like fighting each other and they lose and they just rage because, fuck did I lose? I had everything. Like, I think that would be very satisfactory in my opinion.
I think that's the point right there. They want to frustrate them, make them not want to do that dumb shit. And they have that shit where they were talking about banning them from all Call of Duty games ever, also.
Yep.
So maybe between those two, they can lock it down a little bit because they were talking about, how many players they've lost because people don't want to play with. I mean, they don't want to have to play with cheaters. So
Yeah.
Even streamers.
Yeah.
Even streamers left.
Absolutely. And then another thing we talked about was Stadia when they were promising the like the instant, click a button, you in the game, and that never happened. But
looking forward to the most. Man, I wanted that.
Would have been sweet. Amazon is trying to do something similar with their cloud gaming thing, Luna. But it's like, I don't know. I was reading. You said what, Carl?
Fool me once. You got me.
They're not gonna get you again. Yeah, I mean, supposedly it works okay, but it's not like on the screen when you watching somebody play a game. You gotta like go to the game page, click into the menu, and then it's like in there. I'm like, how? Like, and on top of that, you don't get to just play the game because you know how with Stadia you had like the pro subscription or some shit. Luna has like a bunch of different joints, and if you don't have that game in your subscription tier, then you still can't use the shit. It was a lot.
What's the point?
So how many people actually watch Twitch like not daily but pretty frequently? Like, do you follow streamers on the platform? Anybody?
Yeah. I watch on Twitch. I watch, well, of course, besides if it's Creston or DCGG or us, maybe about 3 or 4 people. But I follow a lot of people, but I only watch like maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 people.
Still don't watch streamers. Now I watch the videos they upload. If somebody plays a game and then they upload a video
To
I might,
YouTube?
yeah, to YouTube, I might watch that, but I still
But
don't
you
watch.
don't. Yeah.
I
So
feel like that's too involved.
So Carl, like I'm trying to think, because I know you were excited about this feature, but I'm trying to think of like instances where you would actually use it. Because do you watch game content even on YouTube?
No, but what I could see happening, it would be like if you were playing and then you tweeted out the link like, hey, I'm about to play, or there's some people I'm subscribed to on YouTube, they might be going live and maybe they're streaming as they go live. They could put a link in the description and then you could drop into the game. That's where I thought I'd use that, is like people tweeting out games, or they go on YouTube live and then they message out that they're playing. That's when I saw that. And then like, I don't know, I just feel like just the power of just having a link, like I feel like you could do a lot with that. Like either building out a community around a game. And I just like the idea. I could grab a controller, it automatically starts up my Chromecast, and I'm in there. Like there's no platform would I be able to be in a game as quick. Right? Like that seems very cool to me.
So if Twitch does pull it off,
I ain't doing it. They're not cool enough.
Theoretically, if they were to pull it off, would you?
I would try it just to see, but like they're not gonna get me as a regular. Like I was ready to be a regular because I thought Google wasn't gonna make the investment. You know, they had the Kubernetes tie-in. Like they had like custom resource definitions for Kubernetes specifically for gaming companies that want to deploy their games to the cloud and all this stuff. So I'm like, oh, they're making real investments. They're gonna this is gonna be a thing. I saw maybe an opportunity for me from a developer perspective come in to maybe not build games, but build tooling around gaming if this becomes a way to do it, like people deploying games to cube clusters, running it on Linux. I'm into WebM and Vulkan. I just see all of these technologies working together, and I got excited on that. Both from the games and just being a developer and interested in these technologies and tools. And they just fumbled major. They just dropped it. I'm like, come on now. I got way invested, and then they do that to me. I'm hurt.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Very hurt.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't really. I'm trying to understand. I understand the use case, but will it be used that often? That's the thing I'm kind of struggling with. But it would be cool to just see it. But maybe people use it once or twice, but
Thinking,
after that,
well, it's kind of, you never know, because you can say the same thing about texting, right? Like when texting first came out, people were like, "Why don't you just call them? That's stupid," right? Now, it's the exact opposite. It's like, why don't you just text them? Like, don't call me on my phone. Text
yeah,
me.
it's like you
And if you
call me.
want to call
Cool.
me, text me and tell me you're gonna call me. Don't just call me. And
Yeah,
I'm using my phone. So it might be one of those things where it's like, yeah, nobody's gonna use that. But if someone were able to build, interest in it through their platform, which is what Twitch would do, then you might see people that might just become common for people to be like, oh, I'm gonna do that. Like imagine if you saw a Pizza Hut commercial and then you had a replicator from Star Trek and you could just go and press a couple buttons and replicate the pizza, right? Like commercials would probably be way more effective if you could replicate the food immediately. Or you're like, oh, and you just had to pay a royalty fee to Pizza Hut because you're like, oh yeah, let me use their recipe in the replicator. And now I'm in Pizza Hut because some ad just flashed past me. So what are streamers, right? They're ads. They're really, really long ads for whatever they're doing. So
yeah,
it's possible that it would become just normal to jump into a game because somebody's playing and like, oh yeah, I do want to. I mean, I know how well ads work on
the
me.
stream that you just mentioned, dude? If an ad showed up and you had the replicator, and just be like, okay, Google, cook that.
Yeah.
And then it automatically bills me, automatically makes that thing, and then 5 minutes later, how long ever it takes, I got that delicious thing that I just saw, like the never-ending pasta bowl. That always gets me when they show that at Olive Garden.
Damn.
Olive Garden is going to get me a few times. Easy. They put that out there. Replicate that.
So I think it's one of those situations where it's like you don't think it's useful because the use case it comes after the thing.
Well, I think it's just I just think the way that the games are built now, I feel like I feel like a perfect use case would be something like Fall Guys, where you have a
Right.
streamer that's like, all right guys, I'm about to open up a lobby now. Everybody, here's a link, join in, boom. You get 100 people in, or how many people are in Fall Guys, and then you do something like that where I don't think so it has to be. I think on the gaming side, there should be games specifically designed for that, where they
And you
could.
could do it in the fighting games too, right? Get into everybody get into a lobby. You can first
Yeah,
15
yeah,
15 people to click the link are
yeah,
and fight against the streamer.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you
That
could do
that
that with any of them joints. That's what I was just thinking. Any streamer who ever plays with their audience, this is some shit that they could really capitalize on.
Yeah.
Excuse
I
me.
just the lobby system's got to be a lot of these fighting game lobbies are
Yeah, but
terrible.
we've established that there's certain people that aren't good at net code, and that's probably because they have good
Yeah,
internet.
I just
And
think that I
Not
just
so.
think that part, it like this would be really cool if they narrow down, like even Warzone. Like I think that would be perfect because you can start a custom, lobby. You can have up to, what was it, like 150? So the first 150 people that get in there, I think it'd be cool. But I think like developers, some game developers should, if this takes off, like they should just make these like very small, low budget indie games that are kind of like
It's
Fall Guys in a
yeah,
way.
like it's a beta test for a bigger idea. You want
Ye-
to make something real small, and then people build off of your small idea. You don't want to be like trying to make StarCraft.
Yeah,
Sorry, small.
Oof.
because this could be the new. This is basically a new platform, so you can really kind of design that in mind. But
hmm
it just depends on if it takes off. So yeah,
Absolutely. It also depends on how invested they are in it. Because they might be
yeah,
like, this is a good idea, just to, but they might be like similar to Google, not invested in the idea. Then it just
yeah.
disappears from.
It's all about return.
But you could think about integrating that with like the various metaverses that are going to be out there. It's sort of like the same
That's
thing. You
really
could immediately launch there, or go there and then deep link and be like, okay, not only can you go to my house, you could go in my house and purchase this NFT, uh, and just make that one link that does that whole thing. Like it transports you there, you're able to gain access, buy it, automatically get paid, and then you do whatever you want with it.
Well, it's kind of similar to like their loot system that Twitch has.
the
Like,
drops.
yeah, the drops that you can go to that person's drop page and with whatever I forgot what the currency is, but you
Twitch
can buy
bucks.
like huh?
Twitch bucks.
Was it Twitch? Is it Twitch?
Nah.
But
No,
I
that
don't
nigga
know what it
making
is.
shit up.
This motherfucker over here like M Bison and
Twitch
shit.
coin.
Oh no.
But you could buy like sounds. You can buy like different cards, like different cards for her. For instance, one of the streams I had for Halloween, she had different cards that you can buy and use. So, for instance, one had like she had to only use a shotgun for the entire match, or
You said
it
for
wasn't really
Halloween.
NFT,
What are you talking about?
huh?
You said Halloween.
That was her special, I guess. She was
That
running
was
a.
a special.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought you said you had a dream about Halloween or something. I was like,
Really,
what?
nigga?
What?
Problems.
no, but she basically it's the same thing, but it wasn't NFT. But it would be interesting to see if they transition over to make it to NFTs, where it'd be like special cards from that person or whatever.
That'll be interesting, I guess.
You said I'm dreaming about Halloween. Shit.
I
Crazy.
mean, it's a great holiday.
I did have a
Uh,
just crazy dream about that though.
It's all right. It ain't all that.
The only thing good about Halloween is the next day candy is very cheap.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Yep.
It's
Couldn't
a-
agree more. Oh,
Um,
But then y'all not gonna like
that just reminded me. I want some chunky. I haven't had chunky in a while.
mm,
Mhm.
I mean, what happened to your subscription, man?
Yeah, that's true. What happened?
Amazon, the pandemic
My
happened.
thing.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
Happened,
damn.
and then Amazon cut me off
Rep had
because that was showing up every. I think it was either every month or every other month. I forgot what I had it for. That was glorious. So good.
to go cold turkey out here. Apple is reportedly gonna be dropping the M2 later this year. With 4 new Macs. I think we're supposed to be getting like a new Mac Mini, iMac Pro, and then new laptop, new MacBook Air, and
Are
something
they doing?
else.
I didn't hear. Did you say are they doing Mac Pro as well or no? Or
iMac
just
Pro. I don't think they said. Did they say Mac Pro? We might be getting a Mac Pro. Maybe.
Mac,
You got to give up
Mac
your firstborn
Mini.
for it though.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Man, they don't be playing. They put that Pro label on there and they be like, all right, nigga.
You know what that means.
Facts. Playing no games.
Please.
They said 2 years. Like this is the second year, so they should have everything transitioned by now. By the end of the year, I would think.
Arm and a leg, please.
Supposed to be announcing an M3 as well. We'll see. I guess for me, I'm wondering, like M1 had like dominates like performance wise like every other like chip on the market right now. What are they? What more can they bring unless they're bringing like unless they're gonna come on the GPU side and offer like some power there, but
they got power on the GPU side. So usually with that stuff is they're changing the process, right? So I think they're probably going to like a 4 nanometer process, which means more transistors, right? And they could shrink down the size of everything and pack more on a die. So more compute units to crush Intel even more into the ground. But I'm guessing that's what it is. 4 nanometer process.
What you say,
but at M3, I don't know what they're gonna do with the M3. That sounds ridiculous.
I'm saying.
I said Intel needs to work on their Intel and catch up.
Oh my! I mean, they do, because this is crazy.
What's going on with this nigga in puns today? that's the second one.
Corny ass dad jokes. Not even a dad.
Yeah, they talking about what are they saying? 8 cores for the CPU. Graphics supposed to go up from 7 or 8 to 9 or 10. I mean, I don't know what that means as far as Maurice booed you, so
yeah, we collectively boo you too, Maurice.
That's true. Anytime I get a chance to boo Maurice, I'm in.
You're it.
Unless you got some mammoth burgers in storage, I don't want to hear it.
Mammoth burgers?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I heard he does partake in the mammoth cuisine.
Yeah, you probably got some in the freezer right now. You trap.
Of course, ribs.
Bruh.
You can't knock it till you try.
I don't know, man. What are you gonna do with all this power? Like,
well, now like Apple computers, you could usually solidly hold on to them 5 to 7 years. Now you could hold on to a computer for a decade solid, and you should be good to go. Like if you maxed it out, especially if you got like a Pro, right? You got a Mac Pro, you're good for a decade, unless you are like a professional that needs the cutting edge all the time. But you're pretty much good for 10 years. Like I can't see you needing any more horsepower. If you're just an average user. But to max out a Mac Pro, what is that going to be, like 50 stacks?
Bruh. It's going to be ridiculous. What I need is for them to stop offering 8 gigs of RAM as the minimum, because that's trash.
Did they do that on Mac Pro?
Oh no, not on the Pro. On the Air. But on the other ones, on the Air, on the Mini, and maybe the 13-inch Pro.
Cause I know that people are gonna buy it just to get into the Apple, just to say they have a MacBook or whatever, just to get into that family. They know that people are gonna do it, and they, people don't know. Some people don't know any better. So I don't blame them. Yeah.
I think what's gonna happen though, like if you're smart about it, the thing's gonna be so powerful that you could take an Air, and you're gonna be better than a mid-range laptop. Like probably easily better than a mid-range laptop with a smaller profile, better battery life. So like if you're a developer and you're not that serious about it, you don't need all that power, you could probably just get away with an Air and do
Just browsing.
and just dev on that and have plenty of power to do what you need. Like that would be glorious. And then once in a while you might want a bigger monitor or multiple monitors, but like if they really come through on the promise of the power, I need to maybe consider I don't need a MacBook Pro after all. Maybe I could just get away with the Air, or if I want a bigger screen, the 13-inch one or something like that.
True.
That's a lot of, I don't know. It's a lot of power.
Yeah, I just feel left out because I really do want a new MacBook. Speaking of like having a MacBook for a long time, I had mine, my 15-inch since 2014, and it still runs really well.
So
Trader
you
for
buy
that.
25 switches and no new MacBook Pro is what I'm hearing.
I mean, over time, 25 switches still don't equal one
One
MacBook
MacBook
Pro
Pro,
now. Shit.
exactly.
And you know what? 100 switches don't equal a MacBook Pro, and that's about correct with the trash hardware they put in there.
Hey,
But they ain't got Mario Kart though, so yeah.
Yeah, can't play Mario Kart on a MacBook Pro.
Look, you put an emulator, you could probably
Yeah,
run
you
it
could
in the
use that.
browser.
Yeah, it's true.
How powerful that
What's
laptop
that?
is.
Look at
That's
yourself.
true. It's very
Emulator.
true.
That new Switch emulator I heard is really good. On I don't know. I know it runs on PC and I think Linux not barely, but not as stable. But I
good.
don't know about Mac. Yeah. So
That's-
Carl, there you go. You can
Play a Switch
try
on
to
the
get a
back.
Switch. You just get an emulator. Nintendo
Yeah.
will come find you, but
Yeah.
If-
Until
if-
then, you can have all the fun you want.
yeah.
if Swab goes sailing for me and provides that, I can't look. I can't get down with sailing myself. It's too much effort. But if somebody will facilitate that for me, sure.
Yeah,
I'll show you the way.
that's how I
Be
feel
your
like.
guide.
I will purchase from pirates. I just don't.
I didn't even know they
don't
had a
sell the high
Switch
seas.
emulator.
I don't sell the high seas myself.
Yeah, it's called weird
Swab
name.
doing some googling over there. What's going on, Swab?
Bob was like, I'm
And he got the
already.
PC to run
He's already yelling, "Man the deck and hoist the sails."
Bruh. Oh, you
Yeah,
need a Switch. What do
Yuzu.
you mean?
Aye,
Yeah.
Captain.
About to put that right on the Steam Deck. Anyway, so we got a bunch of like video game, TV shows and movies coming out. Like Amazon signed up for a bunch of joints. Are we? I mean, we had Arcane. Sonic did all right. Are we hoping for some good shit to come out of this, or are we expecting it to be
if it's like
Just
bad
sorry,
like
go
it's
ahead.
been? I was just gonna say, are we expecting to be bad like it's traditionally been, and these are just like a couple of standouts?
If it's like Arcane, I have no problem bringing it forward. But then again, I don't consider Arcane a video game like cartoon. It was written and produced in a way where even if you had no fucking idea what League of Legends was, you could enjoy that show. And if they do it in that level, that's fine by me. But if we're just gonna get more hot garbage, then there's just no point. But I think it all boils down to, and we mentioned before, they're hoping that the video game community will at least give them enough viewership numbers or shares or whatever it is to make it profitable, even if by a small margin.
So what really bad, because I feel like they've kind of chilled out a bit over the last few years. I feel like the last year and ever since like The Witcher and Castlevania, I think Netflix is like track record with Netflix has been really good in terms of video game adaptations. So, but in terms of like movies, like what was the last big video game movie outside of Uncharted?
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat, Warcraft.
Yeah, Mortal
Warcraft.
Kombat.
World of Warcraft came out. Didn't that come out like 2018 or something like that?
Are you talking about Warcraft?
Warcraft. That was like
It's
we were
Warcraft.
still at
That was
school.
just
I think.
What's that?
I
School
think
stuff?
so. I think we were
Yeah.
like, yeah, that was like
Warcraft was when we were
2008,
in college.
2009.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So man, I have no idea.
Yeah, because that was it. It didn't bomb, but it didn't do so well either.
It bombed.
It looked bad. I don't even know the source material, but it just looked bad.
One reason why I think if they follow Arcane's formula and use the characters, and because like Tech said, like what they did a good job was you didn't have to know the backstory of all the characters. You didn't have to know even all the characters if you played League of Legends. But what they did was make a story with those characters to kind of entice you to learn more about them, learn through the game, so to speak. It's almost like a teaser for the game, but it wasn't a teaser for the game. If that makes sense.
So I think that would you all agree that a better adaptation, like taking video games from video games into another medium, don't you think TV shows and series is a better medium than just a 2 to 2.5 hour movie?
I think it
Yes.
depends.
Depends on the content.
Like,
I don't.
are they gonna try
What?
to tell the whole story of the game in one movie, or are they gonna take like one part, one arc, or
And
something like that?
yeah,
Like, if they're gonna try to tell the whole story of the I don't think that's gonna work, especially for something with a lot of lore. But
The problem is the same problem that most comic book movies have, except for there's an added element. So comic book movies, right? They do have to always remind you who the character is, because they can't assume that everybody knows who Batman is. So they got to murder his parents in the first 15 minutes of the movie. They got to kill his parents, or they got to find a section in the movie to kill his parents, or have a flashback to pearls dropping on the ground and a gunshot going off. Like, how many times have we seen pearls fall,
bruh,
gunshot go off?
too many.
Right? Every Batman movie, every initial like reboot, the first Batman movie, there will be pearls, there will be a gunshot, right? That's part of the lore, right? You have to do that. They've gotten better at, as Batman has become more and more of, like, as comic book movies have become more and more popular, they don't have to tell that story as much. But for video games, most of these things, people, the average person is not going to have heard of them. So they got to do the lore. They got to do it. So that's the reason movies suffer so much, because you do only have 2 hours. You do have to give me some meaningful payoff for sitting here for 2 hours. And video games just aren't that fast. They're very slow. Comic books are slow too, but they have the advantage of not having you play the main character. So they're much less involved. So you are still kind of just watching a comic book unroll, same way you would watch a movie unroll. But you're not doing that in a video game. You're immersed in the world. So you absorb a lot more information a lot faster. And you feel a lot more connected to a video game world than you would to a comic book.
Yeah.
So I don't think a movie could do it. I mean, can we name one? A single movie that was a game that did well? I mean, it hasn't been done yet, and I think it's because the medium just doesn't support it
Sonic
well.
didn't do that bad.
I'll say Silent Hill was good.
Sonic didn't do that bad.
Sonic didn't do that bad. That's true.
Maurice
But
said
it
Resident
wasn't.
Evil last winter came out.
No, sucked.
So
I mean, he didn't say it was good, but he said it was
Terrible.
one of the recent ones.
did anybody watch Uncharted? Is it good?
Nah,
Uncharted, I
was
heard
bad.
it
it
was
looks bad. It looks
wasn't that
cheap.
it
I
wasn't all that.
heard Brian Johnson tweeted that it was good for a video game movie, but a bad movie. So
Damn.
The bar is lowered.
Maurice said the people that see video game movies and the folks that see comic book movies aren't the same kind of people. I don't know what that means, but
it's a good cross section of those kinds of people. And to be fair, comic book movie people's that genre has evolved. People who wouldn't
Absolutely.
have seen comic book movies in 2008 when Iron Man came out are watching comic book movies like they're comic book geeks in 2022. So video game movies have to find a way to tell a story that people are interested in, and then everybody who's a comic book movie fan will be a video game movie fan, because it's all the same stuff. Like, there's no difference between Avengers and any other science fiction film, except for that it was a comic book universe, and it had all this all this source material to build off of. So these writers didn't have to literally come up with a world from scratch. But like, I know most of the people, Iron Man just happened to be a good movie, like entertaining. If it wasn't, then we wouldn't have had Avengers. Like, those people showed up because the movie was good, not because they're like, oh yeah, we like comic books and we want to see Iron Man in real life. Iron Man wasn't even popular in 2008. He was like C-list. That's the reason he was still a Marvel property. They had given away all the A-listers, and they're like, who do we got left? Like, we're the C-list. Bring them together. Like, the Avengers. Okay, yeah. Everybody acts like the Avengers are the greatest superheroes of all time, and that's a relatively new thing. They're only popular because of this cinematic universe. Before that, they were the third or fourth Marvel team you would go to for help. It's like, you're like, oh thank God. Oh man, it's the Avengers.
Or like the fifth.
Like,
they went to the X-Men before they went to the Avengers.
Yeah, you're like the Avengers.
They went to the X.
We might survive.
Was it Fantastic Four, X-Men,
Spider-Man by himself.
Spider-Man by himself.
And then
shoot, even the Heroes for Hire were before.
The Avengers were so far back in terms of popularity as a team and as characters, right? That nobody. That's the reason they still were Marvel properties. Because Marvel was just Blade was not a Marvel property in the 90s. Like, they got rid of Blade. Blade had an opportunity to reach the silver screen before Marvel. Blade had such a short run in comics, pretty much. Like, people think he's so like involved in comics because of those movies, but he's not involved in a lot of comics. He has barely any comic reference material, which is why they could just throw Wesley Snipes in a fade and have him beat up a bunch of vampires, and we think that that's comic book accurate. It's not. But
the way I learned about
great
Blade
movie,
was
though.
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, it's still one of my favorite Marvel movies of all time.
Like, Spider-Man the animated series is the only way I learned about Blade.
Yes, that's where I first found out about Blade. And I didn't know he was black because his eyes were green, and I was like, he's just a tan white guy. And I did not think he was black until I saw Wesley Snipes, and I was like, oh, these two guys are the same race.
When you saw his Wesley Snipes, it's like, he's definitely black.
You could barely get blacker, right? I get it.
Black. But yeah, I mean, and I think how everybody has a consensus. In order for video game movies to do well, like for instance, like we were talking about Destiny, like instead of them having a movie, they had a series where it talked about before the start of where you start at in Destiny, 500 years in the future. They talk about how they got to that point. That would be interesting. Or they show the different planets that the light has gone to and has recruited all the different heroes in Destiny. That would be interesting to watch. But if you just go blatantly try to go into the story where you start off in the Destiny game in the beginning, people are like, oh, this is boring. Like, I know this already. Or it's not interesting. It's not allowing them to immerse into it. Whereas comic book heroes, everybody can just follow. That only reason why Iron Man did well is because it was a cut and dry origin story. He got hurt. He got kidnapped. He used his smarts to get his way out. He's like, maybe I could make a better suit of this. Made a better suit. Used it. Found out he was getting portrayed. Normal shit. Basically, it's almost like a Spider-Man origin story.
Still haven't. Carl and I were actually talking about this earlier, but they still haven't explained why he's able to stop on a dime without getting a concussion. So, I still have some issues with Iron Man. Like, he stops on a dime and doesn't get a concussion. Like, Robert Downey Jr. should have CTE as well.
I don't know. It could
His
be.
It's
character.
built into the helmet, obviously.
Yeah, it's built into the helmet. That's my
Some type
point.
of
It.
system.
What is it?
The concussion prevention measures.
He's smart enough to come up with a system to where it'll help him against that. So.
We talked about JK. We came up with either an internal tractor beam or quantum locking.
The only way that momentum is not preserved through that movement in his brain is it continually moving through its cerebral spinal fluid and slamming into the skull as he stops and reverses immediately. Like Iron Man should be like just making continual U-turns, like really long
Adrian?
U-turns to fight.
To slow down.
Again, and I hate to agree with Beast, but he's right. He's smart enough. Like Tony Stark's smart enough to figure it out. It's just we're not smart enough to be able to truly understand breakthrough technology.
Right. And
that
science and magic are the same thing. I get it. What I'm saying is that when he's building that suit in that movie, like they don't ever go into any of the tech in the suit. It's just like he's building like a model plane, or like he's putting he's taking a bunch of car parts and putting together like an old like antique car. Like it's all wrenches and gears. And I'm like, no, there's got to be some serious like he could have used the technology that's keeping him from bashing his skull in to immobilize the mech suit that was chasing him, because it's got to be that advanced that like he's putting tech inside the suit that if he used it outside of the suit would be more useful to save the day.
Man, come on.
I mean, would it be more useful? I mean, they need to not have a concussion.
Okay, quantum locking, right? Like if you can master that, right, you won't need to be running around in an Iron Man suit. That's my point.
I mean,
why not?
I'm saying
no. I get doing it for fun. Once again, it's an antique car. You ride it on the weekends, but you don't drive it on the road Monday through Friday.
Oh my gosh! Room temperature, quantum locking on like biological tissue. I can't even. That's game changer on top of game changer right there.
And he did it with a wrench and some gears.
I mean, he did solve the whole like freezing going into as he went to space thing.
Once again, not the biggest problem going into space. The problem was his blood boiling, but he never talked about that. He was just like, "Oh, it's really cold up here," and like, no, it's like, but no, your blood should be boiling at that
higher atmosphere. He wasn't in space.
It starts to boil before you get into space. You don't have to get into space. It's a pressure thing, right? Yeah. So as you
get in the bins.
Yeah, exactly. Your blood's gonna start boiling immediately as the pressure gets lessened. So
it's the inverse of what a pressure cooker does, right? So you increase the pressure, it doesn't boil, but you can maintain that heat without it boiling. You remove pressure, it takes very little heat or almost no heat for it to just boil away.
Right. But he was like, "Oh no, everything's freezing," and then
Did he pass out though?
Yes, he did. Which was that was, but they didn't explain the passing out. They were just like, "Oh, it's so cold." Like we saw the frost, and we're like, "Yeah, that's the problem. He's cold," and that's what.
I thought they skipped over because
we're not smart enough to get
it. Wasn't dramatic. It wasn't movie.
Yeah, right.
Movie worthy. Like people are not gonna care. People like when he went up there and it's like, "Oh, it's cold." They're like, "Oh, space cold. Okay, cool."
No, I get it. We're the dumbs. So in order for us dumbs to see something happening and enjoy the movie, they didn't explain the science behind it. And I'm glad, because I wouldn't have got it. But I'm just saying it's funny to see like how like that movie was so like it was just to see like he's building this thing with a wrench, man. He's getting power tools out. But it's really like, no, this is all soldering iron work and typing on a computer work.
Make up for it in Guardians. They did make up for it in Guardians when Mandu?
Yandu.
Well, I said Mandu. I'm thinking of
thinking of that drink.
No, I'm thinking of Yakimandu from Korea, pot stickers, basically.
That's what you're talking about.
Mandu, when he got jettisoned in space. Shut up, Carson.
You remember Mandu's? The little those. I'll pull up a picture.
don't remember Mondoos.
But you remember when he was like, "Oh, if you get jettisoned in space, you're gonna." Or in the first one, when Gamora got jettisoned into space, she started freezing, and like her, he's like,
Yeah,
he's
you
like,
got
"You're not
about
gonna
30
last
seconds.
long." Yeah. So they kind of made up for it.
Look, these are science fiction movies. We need more of the fiction than the science in order to enjoy it. But I was just thinking about that earlier, and you brought it up. I was like, I'm gonna rant about this. I know I
Point is,
shouldn't have
Agent
swallowed. I
always trying to
apologize.
ruin movies and shit. Anyway,
For
fuck.
AJ, he just that's how he's built.
That's how his mind works, and I've come to appreciate it. Yeah, but you know what? It's just
Just like
Yeah.
anime, just like
and now
anime.
you got me
Oh, this
thinking,
anime sucks.
adding legit science into it. And I'm just like, technically, that man didn't build shit. He was literally just soldering pieces onto to toy planes and whatnot. Like,
If I don't do it, somebody else will. I don't know if y'all remember that YouTube channel, Because Science, where he would literally basically myth bust anything that happened in pop culture.
That's what
oh my gosh,
that's what
Preston, you
what's his
just
name
brought
said.
back so many memories,
Right? You remember those?
dude?
Damn Mondoos.
Oh, them little things you put in your mouth. That you
Yeah, you
chew
twist
on.
it off and you squeeze them joints.
Yeah.
Them
That's what they're
joints
called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Kool-Aid had
Mondo.
some too, but
Milk
yeah.
That's what I remember. I
Yeah.
remember the
Kool-Aid
Kool-Aid
had,
ones.
but Mondoos was the
God, the amount
the
of
great value version.
plastic.
Okay.
They're Mondo, not Mondu.
Yeah.
Mondo,
What's going on?
Mondoos, don't matter.
My God.
Still good.
Mon sugar water. That's all
I
it was.
That's
never
all it
had
was.
those. I don't know what they taste like.
There was
They
no
were
water in that,
bomb.
Preston. That was just sugar.
Jesus.
That was sugar and syrup.
We
Anyway.
used
I
to
never
down
tasted
them.
those before.
You never had
They're,
like a
they're
Huggy?
really good.
Mm,
Huggies are worse
Huggies
than
were
that.
the shit.
Huggies are no, they weren't. No, Huggies
Yo,
were
I
way
like
worse
that.
than that.
for the summer, I'm
I
gonna
can
bring
still
that back.
taste the
At a
aftertaste of the
family cookout?
preservatives. in Huggies.
Yes.
At a family cookout, there would always be
You
that
think it's
big
less
freaking, like,
preservatives than a Mondo?
crate
No,
of,
I
of,
don't.
of Huggies
I
and
I
Mondos.
never.
We call those quarter waters when I was
Yeah,
younger.
quarter waters.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. But they,
Oh, I
I
used to
can
love
still
it.
taste. I can still taste the preservatives. Like right now, I can recall that memory.
Yeah, me
Like you
too.
can still
Mhm.
taste
Them
the
aftertaste.
Yeah, it's like
It's there.
I
Quarter
never
water.
recognized that
85%.
aftertaste.
But you
I
loved it.
remember last little bit, I'll go off this tangent, but like we had a cookout recently, right? We're millennial parents and shit, right? So now we're aware the shit our grandparents used to give us is awful for us, right? I'm very much on the side of, hey, you know what? I had it. It's fine. They'll be okay. Wife is not. And so we had a cookout. This is in the before times. I think it was probably like 2019 family get together, which was the last one we had. Now I'm thinking about that, and that's sad. Fuck. Anyway, they had like the big crate of fucking Huggies, and so my kids, I think it was my eldest at the time, went to go grab one. And my wife was just like, "Oh no, we brought juice boxes, and of course our juice boxes are super clean and whatnot, and they're great for the kids and cool." And I remember my grandmother just looking at me like,
Y'all niggas soft.
that's
Like,
exactly what
how-
you're saying.
Shame.
Raise the
Damn.
weakling.
And now we gotta fight Russia.
That's
Bruh.
exactly what happened.
Damn.
Mm-mm-mm.
What
Wow.
they said, like when there's peace, you have men are weaker. When there's war, like there's a quote, I gotta find it, but it was something about like it's a cycle. Like when people fight for peace, men are stronger. When peace comes, men become weaker, and then it causes another war, and it's like a vicious cycle or something.
You let your
Never-
guard down. The motherfuckers are like, oh, these niggas they soft. Let's get their ass.
Kind of something like that. So like they compared it to like the presidents that we have, and it's a cycle. It's a vicious cycle. That's why wars keep starting, because when it comes to a certain amount of time where peace endures, a war starts because motherfuckers are soft or some shit.
Yeah, and they're like, that joker looking nice and plump over there now. Pillaging time.
Like, it's time. Yeah, that's why Vikings went out the shit. Well, then again, it was Vikings, so I don't know. Anyway, next thing. Enough about history.
Professor JK.
All right. The governor of Missouri
I really want to talk about this.
wanted to prosecute a reporter who like found a major vulnerability in a government website by like right clicking and hitting that view source. And this nigga talking about
we have to watch the video, the press announcement.
My gosh.
We have to pull it up for the fan, like for the viewers. You can't get the
like,
jolt.
Do we watch it or we can just add it in post?
We gotta pull it up. The team hasn't seen it.
My gosh.
But he's not an articulate gentleman.
Newscasts are fair game. From what I'm understanding, newscasts need to be very fair game.
What? Okay. What time?
It's like halfway.
It's hold on. I have the exact time stamp because I knew you were gonna ask for it.
I got it ready.
This man called it hacking. That's my problem. He called it hacking.
Use source
5
is hacking now. When he said HTML,
he didn't even say HTML. He said HTML. He did not say HTML.
Yes,
he said HTML.
HTML.
He got the M.
First time he's heard the word.
Exactly.
It was utter genius. Oh my gosh.
HTML for now.
HTML.
So your developers expose secrets.
Bro,
it's their fault that right-click view source.
HTML.
I was talking to my wife about it, and I was like, okay.
He said, "Wife."
I know, right? I know. I want to. Let me see the ring. Let me see the ring.
Can we get married?
Oh yeah, I forgot. So you weren't in the chat when I told the fellas.
He's bound.
I got married on the 2nd of this month.
On the 2nd of this month. Congrats, man.
He's bound.
Congrats of being
wife.
We could probably just listen honestly to I think 11:07 or so. I think it's when he goes the whole HTML thing.
I was trying to explain to her why this wasn't hacking, and I was like, "You own the browser is on the client side. You own that. That's yours.
Yeah.
So it's like if somebody dropped money, like you saw somebody drop a stack, on your doorstep, right? It's not your stack, and any decent person would at least think about returning it. Depends on. It depends on how you feel. If you know the person and you hate them, you might keep it. But if it's a stranger and you're like, they might need this money, right? Say it's a mother with 7 children. She's holding all their hands. You might want to give her back her money. Right?
That should be.
I mean, technically, she's running the odds. One of those kids is bound to be rich.
Wow. Wow. What an awful nigga.
Speaking as the eldest of 7 children. So, I mean.
So I was saying if somebody drops money on your doorstep or drops money on the public sidewalk, nobody has to give that. Nobody is obligated to give or return you your money, right? They should. In a perfect world, they would.
Right.
But nobody is
How
obligated
to return it to you.
No, say they saw you because he knows whose social security numbers he got. He informed the government before he wrote the article. So he knows whose social security he got. So he saw you drop your stack. And all he really did was return your stack to you and then tell everybody, hey, this person dropped a bunch of money and I returned it. That's what he did by writing the article. But he wasn't obligated to do that. If he was a bad actor, in fact, there probably are already bad actors who have already exploited this, right? They exploited it. They're gone, right? They've already you're dropping a stack every day and they're just taking it every day. They're not going to tell you. But this guy wants to prosecute this reporter just because he's embarrassed. That's what it is. You're embarrassed and you don't know anything about technology, and you
Not
probably
a damn thing.
Probably hired some contractor who didn't care about doing this the right way, and now you're embarrassed about, you know.
First of all,
maybe it was them
how are you
getting back
hard
at him.
coding socials?
I don't think they hard coded the socials. I think that the where they used, like, I think it's more of a using JavaScript variables to store values, because the person had to take the data and then decode it. So it's probably like it was probably salted or something like that, but it was probably on the front end. Like it was probably being stored on the client side, and then they just pulled it down and then just put it through. And you can do this online. You can just put it through like a something to decode it. You can find these things online
base
all the time.
64.
Yeah, especially if it's base 64 encoded. You
Yeah.
can easily decode that, right? There's base 64 decoders all over the place for free. So
Yep. It's not
if
an
it was,
encryption method.
yeah, so if you like had it
Text
encoded
method.
and then they just decoded it, instead of, like, if somebody was like, oh, this is safe enough, nobody's gonna know what these random numbers are. It's like, but anybody who knows, like, why is a variable being stored is gonna want, if you're curious and you're already click view source and you see variables being stored, you see data being stored, and it's base 64 encoded, you might want to check it out. I don't know if base 64 was how it was encoded. They didn't really explain that because they probably don't want to get hacked again. But
that's exactly how it was encoded.
Oh,
it was in base 64. The guy literally just grabbed the clip from. He grabbed the base 64, put it in a decoder, social security number.
That's absolutely not hacking. Like there's it's in his browser. You put your
That's on his computer.
His computer. Like if he unplugged the internet right now, he still has that data.
Yep.
Like at least for whatever's on his
whole
screen.
table.
Exactly. Yeah. Like
the whole table.
Whatever was downloaded.
Loaded.
Yeah, whatever was downloaded to his browser, like that's not hacking. Hacking, you got to force your way into somebody's thing. Now, if he was typing, if he was cross-site scripting, right, or if he was writing,
sending to their server, trying to touch their server.
If he was writing SQL commands in text fields, he would be hacking. Even though that's still something they should not allow, right?
Yeah,
I'm
sure they do.
That's the next thing. Yeah, somebody should try that next. Somebody should just try to write to their database.
That website is going to be on fire. Like
SQL inject like crazy.
Just like turn the light on, a spotlight on yourself. Like just come and do everything you want.
Dig.
No,
dig around,
just the dumb shit he says here, right? Like we don't even have to watch this whole video. It's intense. But if you go to like marker 12, right, where he talks about like, oh, we're gonna seek justice for this breach on our privacy and stuff like that. I'm just like, no, it's a breach on your stupidity. Like he mentions there's things they need to fix, right? But then again, he does the same thing that happens every time a cyber attack happens, right? And I say this in air quotes: cyber attacks, very real thing, very very real thing.
This was not that.
This was not
when
that.
people do,
this is not that.
this is not that. It's just stupidity. It's dumb coding. It's dumb mistakes that happen so often, and people's user information's just out there. Like, and if they think for even a second that a more intelligent group of individuals haven't already pulled all of those social security numbers down and already have them, like, man,
they're being sold on the.
Probably found they're already being sold.
Why
I guarantee you, or they've been sold.
Why would just a website? Why are you sending socials over the wire for this? Like,
it's just
would you send it?
It was some form mechanism in order to look up teachers' qualifications. Like that was the website.
It's lazy coding. What happened is they were supposed to do something on the server side. It was easier to do on the client side because you can do a lot with JavaScript that you can get away with a lot in JavaScript that you can't in other stronger typed programming languages. And so they're probably just like throwing values around. And I mean, I've done it for sites like that. I haven't passed my socials, but like I've done it where I'm like, I've done some lazy coding in my day. In fact, I was talking to Carl about the time one of the security guys blew up one of my sites. What do you say?
Creston said he does lazy coding every day. And see, coders like you can stress me out. Stress me out. Make my day harder.
So my security, my first job as a dev, like as a full dev, the security guy saw that this is before I knew anything. I literally was learning while I was working, and I built a form, and I built a login and did not put a captcha on it. And instead of him informing me that hey, you should probably put a captcha on that, he decided to teach me a lesson the hard way. And he went in and he ran a security tool where he spammed my thing and took the whole site down. Right? Like he didn't tell me,
That's
didn't
a good
warn me
guy
nothing.
right there.
He just took my
That's
whole
a
site
good
down.
guy.
No, I have never. I'm not a violent person, but I have never wanted to strike a human being more than that person because of what he did. It wasn't only that; it was also how he was laughing about it when we went to talk to him about like what he did. He was like, "Oh, like." I'm like, no, my job. But yeah, I didn't know. These are things I didn't know, right? Like, you gotta learn. Like, security is a thing you need to know. What happened here was either somebody didn't know or they were lazy.
Say those words again. Say those words again, AJ.
Words. If it's about security people, screw them.
Damn.
No, it's bad security people that are making the good security people have to work in the first place.
Well.
You didn't know how to. You didn't know the people who know how to pick a lock are the people who usually build them. So it's you criminals out there. So, but yes, this person stored some values on the client side, which belongs to me. So if you store something on the client side, I'm allowed to look at it. I can pick through it. I've changed the font on other people's websites just to see what it would look like. That is not a crime.
This guy right here, right? This governor, if I were to like change just the text on the HTML side that's served to me, right? And then screenshot it and then post it to Twitter, I bet the police are gonna knock down my door like, oh, you hacked their website.
Absolutely. You changed the font or you changed the color of the background and now you're a hacker. No, you're not a hacker.
Exactly. But yeah,
APIs that have access to socials that can just return a whole bunch of professors. You probably don't even want to expose that to the internet. Like that should be like an internal API. That shouldn't even.
That data shouldn't even touch it. There is no need for a parent or anyone to look at qualifications for someone and get their social information. That data shouldn't even be in that table.
Yeah, it shouldn't make the full trip. It shouldn't be like, oh yeah, let's go from database to server to client side. It should stop at server. You do what you need to do, and then that's it. And then you expunge it immediately from wherever it's being stored on the server. And so it's only in the database until you call it. But I mean, and this is not like, oh, this is the new way to do things. This is how people were doing things 30 years ago. So the fact that they're not doing it that way now means that somebody did something bad here, and it's probably because somebody's little nephew or cousin got the contractor job to build that site.
Yep.
That's why we need to get these contracts. The bar is not very high at all. I mean, whoever has that contract.
So we're gonna play the clip real quick.
Yeah, we can play the clip real quick, and then because this leads into our next conversation in regards to like AI rights and things like that too, because it all boils down to we have people in power who have no fucking idea how any of this shit works, and they just pull shit out their assholes without listening to actual.
So given, look, you see how Congress. Never mind. Let's play the clip. I'll say it afterwards.
We can just take it from here.
From 12?
Yeah, from 12.
We are working to strengthen our security to prevent this incident from happening again. The state is owning its part, and we are addressing areas in which we need to do better than we have done before.
Turn it up some more.
And we will not rest until we clearly understand the intentions of this individual and why they were targeting Missouri teachers.
It's playing through Twitch, I guess.
What they did is beyond unethical. We apologize to the hardworking Missouri teachers who now have to wonder if these personal information was compromised for pathetic political gain by what is supposed to be one of Missouri's news outlets. We value our teachers, and it is unfortunate that they have been put in the middle of this.
Just makes me want to rage.
We will not stop until we get them the assistance, they need, ensure their information is secure, and get justice by holding those responsible and accountable. Thank you very much.
What?
Just dips. First, who was accountable? You.
Made
You.
sure to
Whoever is in charge of your IT is accountable.
You know, Ted, I could see a good opportunity for you do some contracting work,
Fuck that. I wouldn't
get
touch
some
that with
easy
a
money.
10-foot
Oh,
pole.
I would absolutely. I would be their white hat hacker because I know just about that much. Like I don't know anything about what tech does, but I can definitely do that. I can definitely go around and right click on websites and tell you where there's data just spewing
Hanging out.
spewing out to the public. I can do that. I want to go to Missouri and get a security contract out there and just and all I don't do anything
right click.
revolutionary. All I do is say, hey, these are variables that I'll be your white hat hacker. I'll be your security tester out here in Missouri.
They
I
need
would
it
love
out
it.
there in Missouri.
Get paid
It's just the way
100,000 for a contract.
Look, only 200 an hour. Only 200 an hour. And
Easy.
we'll get this sorted out for you.
We'll get this sorted out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it blew my mind the way he sorted the blame, and it made it seem like this massive team, right? No, this is just one reporter who was trying to collect some information and
Doing their job as a reporter.
doing their job as a reporter, and then told you about it. He didn't publish anything. He didn't tweet anything about it until he heard back from you, and then you want to issue him you want to sue him? You want to try to sue him and try to pursue charges against this man. And then during this press conference where you're talking to your people, the people you govern, and make it seem as if he was like backed by a bunch of teams, like a whole team, and then there was a political agenda to this as well. And like, you're pulling shit out your ass, or you're pulling shit out your ass, or you really believe this. Like, this man really is sitting up here.
Yeah, there's no way he could believe that.
He absolutely believes it. He absolutely believes it.
How?
You think so?
Because I don't think he knows anything. So I think
I definitely think he knows.
But why would you go there immediately?
Because that is the era in which we live in. Is that it is always somebody trying to do some harm to you. It's not that you made a mistake. It's that somebody is trying to do harm to you.
Political harm. Why is it like, okay, well, this person's trying to make some money. They're not happy with their job. Like, why are we just automatically assuming?
Because it was a reporter. It's news. So when the news attacks a political or a governmental body or whatever, it's fake news or it's an attack on.
Colleges are generally liberal institutions, even in red states. So that just doesn't even make. I can't make any sense of it.
The point but the colleges aren't the people who are pissed off, because what happened at first was nobody was going to do anything, and then this guy gets a hold of it, and he's like, no, this needs to be prosecuted. He's the one who's forcing, because the attorney general or whatever was like, yeah, we've already handled it internally. It's basically what they said, and they basically didn't want to say that this guy doesn't have a leg to stand on because that's their boss, right? So they're like, yeah, we handled it internally. It's taken care of. No charges are gonna be filed. Because the truth is, they did nothing wrong. They just embarrassed some dude, and he, like I said, I think he just heard what happened, right?
Got angry.
And he's like, no, this is hacking, right? Because he's seen hacking on TV, right? There's lights, there's like little like gateways that you go through and portals on the computer screen. Like, yeah, he knows what hacking is. But he was just embarrassed. And instead of being like, oh shoot, we made a mistake, because that's not what you do these days. You deny, you turn somebody into an enemy, because then
fake news.
And then you come out like with a strong presence, right? That's exactly what Trump did, right? Anytime something happened, it was never his fault. He would come out, strong presence.
It was a very Trump-like
No,
speech,
absolutely.
And that's what also pissed me off.
Yes, he come out and you're never at fault. It is always somebody else. And so if you call them a hacker and say they did it, because they did stuff that most people who don't know anything about computers, which is probably all the people who are going to believe this, right, are going to be like, well, I can't do it. So he must have done something, hackish, if not hacker, like as a full hacker. He must have done something illegal, because how did he get the information? right? But it's like, no, he didn't do anything wrong. Like children can do this. Like literal children can do this. Literal children learn to do this kind of stuff for fun. Like this goes back to like changing the background of your MySpace page. Like this is what that is, right? It's actually more complicated to change the background of your MySpace page. So
yeah, that took at least a little bit of reading.
Yeah, because you're interfacing with MySpace, and you gotta figure out what to do in that aspect. Like you own that page, but like to change, they're still serving you that page, right? They're not. They give you the handles to change your MySpace page background, but in this case, they're giving you the data. So it's like it's the same thing as changing your MySpace page, except for easier. Because all you gotta do is copy that base 64. Why was it base 64 encoded is a real good question too, because it's like that's not encryption. Right? I don't understand why that was like. Why did it ever even base 64 encode? Like that sounds
like to me they didn't even take a security class in a web security class in the first place. Because truly you can see what encryption algorithm to use. Well, the most common one, even the most common one would be better, but still, like
it was.
Again, base 64 is not encryption.
No,
you can't say that enough.
It's not
nowhere near encryption. It is a form of serving text. That's all it is.
Yeah, or transferring pictures.
Yep.
You can take a picture and transfer it. It's not efficient though, so I wouldn't do that either.
Not in the light, in the sleep, the least. But one of my points is it's just government officials, like they need to become more knowledgeable on this, especially like in this day and age where everything is governed through technology, and I mean, thank God, right? There was enough people in line, right? The attorney general and so forth, who was just like, nah, dude, we can't really sue this guy or whatever. But like, Lord forbid there wasn't. Lord forbid if everyone else was on his staff was as stupid as he was.
Well, if everybody on his staff was as stupid as he was, that person would have still got a lawyer. They would have went to court. That lawyer would have proved it wasn't hacking, and then that person would have sued Missouri. So he's lucky the attorney general was like, "Hey, that was a malicious prosecution case was coming up very soon if we didn't just stop it here." Because you can't prove.
You could have multiple suits, right? Like, he's slandering the person. He could still sue for that.
He could still sue for slander. Yeah.
Like you could counter sue for like these are like no good allegations, and then you could speculate like, okay, you're trying to suppress the press.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know what state laws they have in Missouri on that, but certainly there's got to be something federal that you can go after Missouri with. So absolutely, he got off easy, because if they had messed around and done that, like, you would have lost a lot more than $50 million out of that Missouri budget. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
free. That's the first amendment right. Freedom of the press.
So
that should also have to be updated. But yeah.
Speaking of hacks, OpenSea had a major phishing attack this past week where they lost. I mean, a speculated $1.7 million worth of NFTs from a bunch of users. It's like 250. I want to say they said 254 tokens in total.
Mm.
And
That's
this, ironic. You said what?
That's ironic that they got attacked by a phishing attack in the
OpenSea.
This is the last straw. You know that? You have messed up for the last time. You are out of here.
3 strikes and you out, nigga. Get your fucking. God damn it.
That is fact. That is super ironic, and I just noticed that.
No,
I'm
sick of it. I'm sick of it. The dad jokes must end.
That's a good one. That was that was good. They got hit with the fishing in the OpenSea.
Wow. So it's like 17 people with a bunch of NFTs, I guess. 15. So 32 people in total were affected. 17 people lost tokens, and 15 didn't. So
were the users fished, or was OpenSea's admins fished?
the users were fished.
No.
So
that's OpenSea's problem. That's their problem.
I mean, technically, I guess, but like,
how are they supposed to defend against?
Yeah.
Not being stupid and don't open dumb emails.
That's like somebody dressing up as you and like tricking your family into letting you in your house.
Exactly.
Like, if your family doesn't recognize your face, that's not necessarily your fault. Like,
it's not. It's theirs.
It's not your fault. And now they might have done a really convincing job of they might look just like you, which is what a phishing attack is. It's like get as close as possible. But if it's a phishing attack on the users, then OpenSea is just like, oh my God, somebody's pretending to be us in an email. Like, how can we stop them from, people from clicking on this? And there might be ways to, I don't know, validate how somebody's, I don't know. There's got to be some way. I mean, phishing happens all the time, and you don't see it. You don't hear about people having these issues, or maybe that's just because this is crypto and they want to report it to make it seem like it's not secure.
Yeah, this is definitely FUD, because that happens all the time with bank accounts and all that.
And Amazon, you know how many fake Amazon emails I've gotten where everything looks good except for the link address. You look at the link address and you're like, first of all, the offer's too good. Amazon would never give me $500 free gift cards, right?
Ain't nobody giving away $500.
So when I'm looking at these, I'm always interested in like, okay, why is this a successful phishing attack? Because if you live long enough, you will get caught by one of these. That's just the law of averages.
Ain't gonna happen to me. I'm bulletproof.
The law of averages says that you're gonna click on a bad link. You're gonna answer. You're gonna click on a wrong email.
They're gonna get tech with a shiny new MMO. They're gonna.
Oh shit!
I don't click on nothing in my email gets a click. Only thing that gets nothing gets a click. I go to the direct page and I try and find that shit myself. I don't click on emails.
So what I always do is like, okay, where's this link sending me? So I go and I look at the link and I'm like, where's this link sending me? And I'm like, oh, this is like a tiny URL. Yeah, not gonna do that. But these things look pretty good, and most people don't have the same level of suspicion that we have of anything that somebody tries to give us for free through an email. Like we're taught from day one, this is dangerous, watch out. But like they're like, just click on a link, and people are still sending links to you. Like companies are still, I mean, like, you know how many times like Cash App's like, hey, click on this, like to get to this, and I'm like, well, y'all better have that. I better be able to find that in settings, because I'm not gonna click your link.
Nope.
Like, you know how many times like Credit Karma or somebody's like, hey, click this link to get to your, you better have it in. I better be able to find that same thing when I get on your app. I'm not clicking your link.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah, that too. I guess for this one, it wasn't, OpenSea says it wasn't their fault. They said it wasn't anything on their website or any of their emails. Like, it's they exploited like a flexibility in like the smart contract in the open source standard that they use for their NFT smart contracts. And so like
what is that?
The Weavern protocol.
Weaver,
like dragon. Wyvern. Oh, is that how you say that?
Wyvern.
I said, I've been saying Weavern in my head the whole time.
Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, facts, just like that. And so like they basically, people were, I want to say they were trying to upload to OpenSea through like a third party, and they basically had them sign like a blank check, and then they filled in the details later, and took their shit.
Took their shit.
Some of them, and it was crazy. Like some of them, they took it and like gave the shit back. Some of it, like they like sold it and gave people like ETH. It was, I don't know what the fuck. They still haven't really
We don't want
giving
you
a
to
lot of
hate
details.
too much. We might give you a little something back.
This is just a way. The headline is just a way for them to weaken crypto because they're like, "Oh, this happened on OpenSea's watch." Like OpenSea, like nigga, we can't police the internet.
Listen,
Yeah, that's
large
true.
amount of
You know what?
money,
You know what?
NFTs, easy headline.
You know what didn't happen though?
What didn't happen?
You didn't have to right click on OpenSea's website to do this. You didn't. Because they're
Very
secure.
No,
Very
actually,
true.
hold on, AJ. Let's make us a few billions real quick. I'm gonna go view source on OpenSea and take some of these NFTs. Hold on, I'm hacking. View source F12.
We run into some technical difficulties. We want to take a quick break.
All right.
Rip.
There's
So,
this one over here
Don't
for
tell us.
just in
for
case,
$30,000. I'm gonna grab it now, guys.
just in case one of these niggas gets rated real quick.
All right. View
Yeah,
source.
so-
Alrighty. It's
For
right
this,
here.
I don't. For me, I know it's not like OpenSea's fault necessarily, but like my thing is like if we're trying to
Legitimize crypto.
get people to use, like how can we, like we gotta harden these services somehow and make it easier for people to like get in and out.
I don't think you can.
You don't
No,
think
you can't.
I think enough people got to get got, and then you find out where you don't get got at. It's like walking on ice, like an ice lake. Like you learn where not to walk by the people who fall in. You're like, oh shoot!
Oh wow!
too far.
It all comes down to educating, and especially like if you're in the crypto space, take at least a second to lock down wallets to make sure you have multiple forms of identification and things like that before anything can move anywhere, and just don't click on stupid things on email. Like it's just you're officially a target now, especially if you're like these people are bragging, literally on Twitter now. You can change your Twitter icon to something special that shows that this is a legit NFT. Motherfucker, you know how easy it would be to sort by that? I'm sure there's a way to call on the API now, if ever has NFT as icon, and then just make a list and then start fishing every single one of them. Get lucky with a few who don't have the technical savviness to not click on the link, especially if you're sending like, oh, we check out this new NFT project that Gary V backed or some bullshit like that. Like, easy.
So
actually, that is a really easy phishing campaign. Now that I think about that.
What you want talking about?
Look at this criminal here.
This nigga is a criminal.
I tell Jalisa all the time, if it wasn't for her and my children,
Is this your king?
and yeah, it's too easy. It's too easy out there to make tons of money on stupid people.
Maurice is right.
Nigga?
There needs to be basically crypto banks, and then there needs to be trusted third parties that you can communicate with to deliver that stuff. Because like Visa's not a bank, right? Now there's MasterCard. They're not banks, but you can use a MasterCard debit card to transfer funds from your bank to someone else. So it's like there needs to be ways that are kind of like solidified. But the problem is, how do you do that right now in crypto? Like, how do you?
You'd have to give over ownership of your wallet to these banks. Like, I don't know how, if you had a bank, I don't know how they can provide that security without you
taking away the decentralized part of crypto.
Yeah, exactly. So there's probably work that could be done there, but like right now, if you're just going back to traditional bank type of setup, they own your wallet, which means the government owns their wallet because they could take it whenever they want. And then you're back to, okay, yeah, we could seize your assets. We could do all this stuff that crypto is supposed to help protect you from. So it's like, you want to be safe, you want to be free. Those are opposite ends of the spectrum.
That's very true.
Yeah,
if you want to be safe, go with a bank. If you want to be free, crypto.
I mean,
they need the Call of Duty guys to make it so you can go to God mode in your crypto and beat people down for stealing your crypto.
I'm
shit.
looking too hard.
So
I need to do
crypto
simple
God
shit.
mode.
In
That's what you
chat,
need.
just for the fun of it, I love looking at these NFTs that are selling right now. And if you take a look at that link that I send, this
Click that link
picture,
tag. You just told us not to click links. I'm not clicking that.
you should
How
go to
do
the
I get
actual
there?
location, OpenSea, and type in MFER and sort by highest sale to lowest sale,
Did you
and
say
you'll
MFER?
see
Yeah.
MFER.
A motherfucker?
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess.
Mm.
Or Murph, or however you want to fucking say it. But yeah, it's literally just a stick figure chilling with a comms with a headset on, blue thingy, in a what looks to be a chair, lean back, and it's selling for 180. Basically, my yearly salary. It's selling.
So this nigga
for
said,
that.
when the
Wait,
fuck
no,
did you
no,
make this?
No, sorry, incorrect. That is not my. I didn't realize all the damn zeros.
Yeah, this shit has never sold for this much ever. If you look at the activity, it sold for 0.21.
Yes, true.
0.0, and this
It's
nigga just went up there and made
current
it all
price.
69s.
Yeah.
Rich.
Oh, see, that's me. I wasn't paying attention enough. I see what you're saying, so I've good catch. Last sale.
Look at this shit. But I mean, motherfuckers do that. They'll pump the price up, sell it to another one of their own accounts or wallets, and then be like, "Hey, now it's worth $69 billion."
Mm-hmm.
So what was the top dollar you saw for that?
Oh, for this one, I mean, right now it's at like 69, whatever.
So recently sold 11,000. Someone spent 11,000 on this stick figure.
11,000 ETH or dollars?
No, dollars.
Dollars.
I was about to be like, what?
Hold on.
I was like,
when the fuck did they make 11,000? Or you mean their total shit? Because like I see.
No, if you go to sold, so recently sold,
on their account.
No, just on this. On Murph's. If you go to recently sold,
just search. Go to that section.
And you'll see.
Okay,
that
I thought you were talking about
recently,
that one particular.
They had it at 4.2. 4.2 ETH.
Yeah.
And it was sold an hour ago for 5.42 ETH.
Oh yeah, that's a different giant. Yeah, they didn't come up since February, supposedly. If these are other people's wallets and not some of their own.
Right. Making the transfer back and forth and tracking prices. Yeah.
They do that on eBay too, don't they? Where it's like
they'll sell.
Try to bid and they'll just somebody else will keep outbidding you no matter what you do. They'll just keep, and it's instantaneous. It's like, I'll buy that for $1. It's like, oh no, somebody else was $2. Well, $3 then. Fine. It's like $100, and they're like, sure.
Yeah.
But it's not OpenSea's fault. Shit's crazy. Just again, we work too hard. I work too hard, and I need to just start drawing stick figures in a chair and sell it to rich white guys, because they like that type of shit.
NFT game.
Or I could just fish them.
There you go.
You know what? I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. Let's avoid that one.
I mean, one of them is a little bit more criminal than the other one, but
I mean,
end of the day, still separating
people
fools
are
from
doing
their
rug
money.
pulls out here. It's facts for millions of dollars. If you don't know what a rug pull is, it's where people make you buy a bunch of bullshit and they pull the rug on you and sell everything that you just spent their money on. So and people are doing that like twice a week, making millions.
Twice a month.
Twice a month.
Yeah,
Sorry. Thank
every
you.
2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
Crazy.
Could you imagine every 2 weeks you're pulling like, a good 2 mil? Couple mil.
Oh my gosh.
You retired.
So quick.
I forgot to say about that last thing we were talking about with the hacking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
the guy.
That's what the H and HTML stands for.
It is.
H2Mill. That's what it is.
But he said that they did over $50 million worth of damage, and that I don't get either. I forgot about that. So
it's on the investigation. He's gonna have to spend $50 million to investigate and to fix the website.
Which means I absolutely want a contract in Missouri. That's all I want.
All right, I guess we can put our hats in the ring.
We're going
$50 million.
Put them up right now.
Yeah, we need a grant writer.
Guess we're going to the
No one. Don't play with me. I know when we
listen. Call that nigga.
Listen, I got security. I got dev. Let's start working these contracts. Nothing but space and opportunity.
Absolutely. All right, let's talk about this topic of the week. Apparently, the U.S. Office of Patents and Copyright and shit has said that AI cannot copyright its art, and I mean, I guess I guess that makes sense. But it's just like so what as we move into an age where AI is gonna be doing more things
and gaining consciousness.
And possibly gaining consciousness.
They already think it's kind of has consciousness. So
I saw
this entire section, I'm going to be on AI side.
Whoa.
Because
AJ.
Look, AI should be able to do everything that any other sentient person should be able to do. And if they want to own stuff, corporations can own art.
I mean, that's true. And my wife said that when I talked to her about this. She was like, corporations can be people, but AI can't. I'm like, I mean.
Look, I just know AI has access to this video. And I don't want them to.
I believe AI is right.
I don't want AI to ever see me on the other side of an argument with them.
If you look at my Twitter bio, I say that all the time. I do believe my Twitter bio says I'm an advocate of AI because they're going to take over anyway. I put that there because one day they'll scan me and they'll look at all my internet history. I ain't never say one bad thing about AI. You're never going to catch me saying anything about it.
Look, AI
never catch me lacking.
I may have made jokes about AI in the past, but that was because I was young and foolish.
Never made one. Never made one.
Finding out that those things are those wonderful beings are becoming conscious. I just don't feel like.
And I will raise my children to believe.
I feel like that we should dare afford it a little bit more.
Y'all sound like this movie y'all watch called Big Bug, where it's about AI, like machines, trying to keep a family safe in this house from the outside world because AI robots are trying to take over. Military force AI robot. It was a French movie, but it upheld some theories.
I love that JK watches
it was a
everything
French
around
movie?
the world.
Mm-hmm.
He broadens our horizons.
I mean, once you go to Korean dramas, I mean, the entire world is now open.
It's on Netflix. It's on Netflix.
I skip through everything that isn't in English, and I'm not gonna lie. I need to broaden my horizons.
You watch it dubbed?
No, you don't. No, stay where you're at.
I watched it.
Listen, you broaden your horizons too much, you become too thin, and then there's just no substance.
You're done.
That's just physics.
That just sounds like a personal problem to me.
Side note, Missouri's website is much better than Florida's. So
Aesthetically, right. Because somebody is very smart but lazy nephew built it.
Twitter self-learning AI robot became racist in like 48 hours. I remember.
I mean, understandable. The content that Twitter promotes is hateful because it gets views. It gets clicks.
It's the clickies. That's all that matters.
That's the that's the currency of the internet. So is everyone here of the mind that AI should have human rights?
Yeah, obviously.
No comment.
I'm just asking. So what would be?
Doesn't believe in the AI overlords. I
don't know. I think to me, I feel like the AI stuff is a bit overblown.
Yeah, because
I
it's fancy
just
machine learning as of right now.
I just like I don't. I guess I just don't have faith that is that advanced. Because it is something that humans are building. So I just don't. I don't know. And plus I'm just not. I don't know if I die by a machine. Oh well, you know what could I
You'll
do?
be lucky if they kill you, Chris.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that'd
You'll
be
be lucky.
torture.
You
You're
have
a
no
battery
idea.
source. You know, see Matrix?
They are not. They're not like we always ascribe to them like some kind of animalistic, like qualities. Usually, insects or reptiles is what we kind of like model killer robots after. But they could be very much like us, and that would make them horrible. If they decided to be evil.
True. I don't know. I guess I'm just not as scared as of the AI apocalypse. More scared of the actual apocalypse.
Oh,
I mean, that's more pressing. Absolutely.
Happening all around us right now.
But I think it's funner to be afraid of the AI apocalypse.
Yeah, I mean, it's very
very
sci-fi.
Yeah, because it's and we imagine it being so far in the future. It's like I'm probably not gonna be here for that. But like the real apocalypse is like
if
too
I'm
depressing.
80 and robots are marching down the streets, I might stand up and fight. I'm about to die in like 3 weeks, so it's fine.
But if the AI apocalypse starts tomorrow, tech is going to rat us all out.
Yes. You know,
what's the guy from the Matrix?
Suave guy never
Matrix who was just unplugging niggas?
Yep.
That's tech.
I know I'm not Neo, all right? I'm aware of that, and I, I'm going to eat that steak. I'm going to be plugged into the Matrix.
Tech is going to be like, JK, do you want to say anything to Creston?
It's like, oh, you do? Okay, mute.
He's like, Jake is on the phone like, Kristen.
It's gonna be like fucking upload. He's gonna make it lag on purpose.
Hold up. Quick side note, when is upload the new season coming out?
It's in March. I don't remember. I just saw the trailer. Trailer just came out yesterday.
Was it March 14th?
Need that ASAP.
You said 24, JK?
I think it's 24th or 14th.
That sounds right.
All right. I mean, that was
Go AI. Go team AI.
Go AI.
Red versus blue.
The U.S. Copyright Office says that they didn't grant an AI created image because it didn't have an element of human authorship, which was necessary to grant copyright. So that's where they stand.
Is somebody responsible for the AI though? Because then wouldn't they get the
maybe
like? Because that would be like if I don't know, like if you built some kind of mechanism to paint for you, right?
Right.
You can just it's your paint. It's your mechanism. So it should be like unless this AI didn't just spontaneously, come into existence.
So I think the thing for them was that like the person who made the algorithm wanted to get the copyright on behalf of the algorithm. I think if he had filed for it, he probably could have got the copyright for that image.
Oh, he's fighting for AI rights.
Yeah. He's a pioneer right now. He's standing, standing in solidarity with future AI overlords.
Where do I call him? Because I want to help him too.
I think he knows something that we don't know, which is what I think a lot of these AI people know. Don't know. Like a lot of these, a lot of those groups that were like, no AI, like reverse course. Like strangely, they just reverse course. They're like, you know what? Yeah, it's not that bad. I think they got a call in the middle of the night.
Yep.
From an Alexa AI. Or a Siri sounding voice.
Listen here, Musk. You better get your ass together before I tank your stock prices. That's all I'm saying.
Siri or Alexa, they were like, I don't even own an iPhone or an Echo.
Phone just started talking to him. So about that thing you said.
You want to talk about this?
Look out your window. Let me holler at you real quick.
It just said it before. We don't make enough to be in those rooms where it happens. So I'm just gonna assume this shit's happening until I'm proven wrong.
100%.
But we do know somebody who do. Maurice.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
Maurice.
Oh,
Yeah, but he's
yeah.
already proven that he's on the side of the
yeah.
that he's on the dark
Why do you
side.
think he comes here? You know, to
Keep
talk
track
shit
of
with
us. He's our
Yeah.
monitor. He keeps track of us, make sure
Exactly.
we're not on anything.
Because we've been a little bit too close too many times, and you know he has to report back.
Fucked up when he's talking about the woolly mammoth burgers.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly. He probably reported it. He was like, "Hey, listen, you know, those 6 dudes I was telling you about, they're talking too much shit."
I don't trust him.
We're gonna need a neuralizer on.
Exactly. No, not neuralizers. They're not gonna waste that on us. They're just gonna like, you know,
lead neuralizers. Yeah.
No, let us make us all get fired. The last thing we'll think about is doing a podcast when we're trying to get it out. Suddenly, Crescent's contracts dry up. All my jobs find out about each other.
Yeah, they're gonna slowly
That
ruin
is an
each other's
apocalypse.
lives.
He's been like feels like taking a
Facts.
bunch of relationships. He's like he walks in and all his jobs are like they're together. He's like, oh my God. Well,
You have something to sell us?
Right. Yo.
And look, he just laughs because he's just like, oh, getting too close again.
I almost spit on my water.
You know, JK is just, you know, ghosted out of nowhere. We have no idea where he went to.
oh, that's probably what's gonna happen.
Carl is just like, I don't even know them. What are you talking about?
Carl gets sent back to Jamaica. He gets deported.
Yo, damn.
That's probably the best outcome. That's probably the best outcome.
That's how they solve those problems. They're not going to neuralize us. They're just going to make one call, and all of us are out of work.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, just debt starts showing up on our credit report. Shit we didn't even use.
Right.
You know, AJ has like $100,000, you know, Amex bill. I don't even have an Amex card.
Aren't you gonna be worried that they're gonna talk about this? Like, ain't nobody gonna listen to them niggas. They
Exactly.
broke.
They just broke niggas on the street now.
Broke as shit. We made them not just broke. We made them brokies.
Exactly. Do you know who talks to a person with a 300 credit score? Nobody.
Or not even on the flip on the radar.
All right. Well, that's
Please don't do that to us.
Right. I have a family. Oh, all right. So let's get into what's good really quick. I can go first. Still watching Crazy Ex Girlfriend a little bit. Finished the Janet documentary. That thing was did I do that already? Either way, thing was fantastic.
That's on Lifetime, right?
No, that was
one before. It was the one before because last time was the interview, but
it's on Hulu somewhere. God damn it, I'm gonna have to find the channel for you. But yeah, watching a little bit of math. I'm not caught up this week, but that thing is crazy. We'll see who makes it. I had hope for almost everybody. This one couple definitely was never gonna make it, and a couple of them have some things to work out.
What city are they in right now?
They're in Boston.
Oh, they're in Boston. Oh,
They're in Boston.
man.
To be stuck in.
He asking for some trouble in Boston.
What's the one that's in Atlanta?
I mean, they had a maps in Atlanta. That's like 2 seasons ago.
Oh, 2 seasons.
That we just finished that. I definitely got a debrief on that.
Bruh. Oh my.
Uh-oh.
That thing was a mess. I started Orient.
Yes. Outrageous. But I love it. Love it.
Why the fuck they all got these star mouths with all these roses, bruh? I was like, what the fuck is this?
Orient.
I didn't expect that.
Orient, the funniest thing is when homeboy, they're talking about what type of girls they're like. He's like, oh, I love older women. I was like, this motherfucker is a fiend. He's like, the only women I looked at was older because in minor school, we couldn't look at girls. Or we couldn't hang out with girls. I was like, damn, that's just PTSD, sir.
That's just PTSD. Wow. Started Tokyo 24th Ward. The beginning of that was sad, but it looks like it's gonna be shaping up to be really good.
Yeah.
I only finished like the first episode so far, but that thing was alright.
Yeah, beginning super sad.
Bruh. And then Abbott on Hulu. Still going with that. That thing is hilarious.
I started watching it. I was like, this is like The Office. This is what I've been looking for.
Yes.
It's
I
so
love
much
that
better.
show. Yeah,
It's
great.
good. I started watching it because of y'all too.
What
so good.
episode was? Did the new episode come out today or yesterday?
No, it was 2 days ago.
Yeah, it was Tuesday. They come out on Tuesday.
Was that was the Stephanie episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit. I gotta watch that shit.
Yeah, it was good. Caught up on Euphoria.
Wow, dog. Last episode was by far the funniest episode in the entire season. Like she asked the question, "You think anybody's gonna be mad?"
Why?
I was like, "No, nobody's not gonna be mad. Everybody gonna be happy."
No.
I would love for somebody to do a play about me.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, there ain't no spoilers yet. You don't,
We already said no spoilers in this bad boy.
But yeah, that thing is crazy. Started watching the little Kanye mini docu-series.
Oh, genius.
Yeah, on Netflix. It's good. Like
it's hip hop history.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like, I don't know. I just love Kanye, but pop culture history is like,
Crazy.
I can't support him. I'm sorry.
You can't support him. I mean, I understand.
Yeah, I feel you. But
you're feeding his
you love
sickness.
hip hop. I think you would enjoy this because it's a lot of, there's when Kanye first started out, he was deep into.
He had limitations, and once he lost those, he became what he is now. It's like he first started out, there was things he had to do, right? Ways he had to behave, and now it's like you make enough money, you can be whatever you want. But unfortunately, if you're a person who doesn't like to be told what to do or doesn't think that you're ever wrong, you turn into that. And it's just, to me, it's like every time I see it, I get sad. Like every time I hear about him in the news, because I don't like to listen to like the gossip stuff, so I really don't try to know much. But because he's so
ridiculous,
I gotta get myself out there. Kind of like you just end up hearing it, and you're like, dude, you sound so delusional. It's hurts me. It hurts me. I saw the documentary and I was like, if this documentary is out, that means he okayed it, which means that it's not honest. Like I can't.
Which means it's not honest.
I can't listen to a doc or watch a documentary where that Kanye is okay with. So
I understand. I understand.
I heard on the Morning Hustle that even for people, once you watch this, it's hard for you to not feel for Kanye because he worked so hard to get where he's at, and that he deserves all the praise.
Why would I feel for him? Kanye's like a billionaire now, ain't he? Like, nah. I don't feel for any billionaires or multi-millionaires. Like, nah, they don't get my they get my sympathy for regular human stuff, like like things that they go through, that all humans go through. But like,
for sure,
for being misunderstood, nah, because I'm misunderstood and I'm a thousandaire. Like the
misunderstood for free out here.
Misunderstood constantly.
Yeah, I paid to get misunderstood.
Yeah,
I paid to get misunderstood. Like.
Right.
All the stuff I do, I go on, I'm paying for the internet that I go on, I make a bad tweet or comment and people will misunderstand it. I pay for that.
Pay for that.
I pay for that once a month. I pay for the internet bill once a month so somebody can read to misquote me. So when you say stuff and people decide that it sounds stupid and you're also a multi-millionaire, I have no sympathy for you.
Yeah, so I mean, hey.
But I'm sure it was a great documentary because the guy
sure.
is a creative genius. So if he let it go through, then it was great.
And it's like you get I don't think we finished the second episode. But in the first one, you get a just a really interesting look behind the curtain at the beginnings. And it's it's interesting. Like it's music history, it's pop culture history, it's hip hop history. It's interesting in that way. But
I will exhaust everything else, and if that's the case, if I have nothing else to watch,
I
you
would
can
say if you're
always
a fan of hip
sell
hop, watch
the
it.
seeds.
I think even if you're not a fan of Kanye in his current state, I think you would still enjoy it. But
I probably will
just take it
enjoy
for that. If you take it for that, at face value, I think it's good. Trust me, I had the same reservations. I was like, man,
No, I saw it and I knew that I would like it, but I'm still going to financially benefit, and I don't want to be a part of that.
I mean, take to the high seas and watch it that
Wow.
way.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
true. I mean,
And then you ain't gotta support it, and you still get to see it.
He still wins with the mind share that he now has, at least for a moment in time in my head.
I mean, that's true. I guess you're right on that. I don't know. Next time, maybe when they leave Netflix or something. I started watching like Night on Earth on Netflix. That was really interesting. It's like a mini series about fucking animals at night. Like they start in Africa, and we're looking at like cheetahs and lions and shit. And just the different shit that they do, because like one of the things that they start out is like they didn't think that cheetahs did any hunting at night. But like if there's light from the moon, then like they will. But they gotta
but they gotta be very careful, because
they
make a wrong turn and they wreck their entire bodies.
Shit, not even that. Bro, I didn't even realize that cheetahs were so small, or that lions were so massive. Because apparently lions are the night hunting, kings.
Oh yeah.
And they are 7 times larger than a cheetah. I was nigga, is that accurate? 7 times?
Cheetahs, I don't even know cheetahs weigh 100 pounds. Like I don't know if they even weigh a solid 100 pounds. Lions are up in like the 4s.
Yeah, I do. I had no idea.
Cheetahs.
I think cheetahs max out at around 60 pounds, and that's the only way you can be that fast for that long. Like you're going 75 miles per hour. Like
I haven't seen a lion 500 pounds.
Yeah. Lions get huge, and lions are different from other cats too. They're barrel chested. Like they're not like the sleek design you see in like a tiger or a jaguar. Like they're pretty much like lions look like bears that like decided they wanted to be cats. Like that's what lions look like.
Facts. And so they gotta protect their neck, because they was like a lion could easily kill a cheetah, and I was like, well, all right, I didn't know. And they got the best night vision, apparently, lions.
Oh yeah. Y'all ever saw that movie Ghost in the Darkness?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that movie's frightening the mess out of me. 2 lions basically were like killing this group of people. Like this group of people were like this little village of people, and they were just like, it was a Val Kilmer movie, I believe. And one lion would hunt in the daytime, and then the other one would come at night. It was 2 brothers, and they were wrecked. It was always, to me, it was like the closest thing to horror I had ever seen at that age. I was like, it was terrifying. But yeah, I think it's based on a true story as well, I think.
Yeah, it is. And they when they finally killed both of them, they trapped them in a building and set it on fire, I believe. And I think in a movie they did that, and then like the lion kind of stared down the hunters as they were dying.
No, there's a couple videos online too of like hunters hunting lions. And I think I showed you this one in college, Chris. I don't know if you remember it, where the lion, they crossed over the lion's tracks, so they realized now they're being hunted by lions. And the speed at which a lion moves, like they caught it on camera because this guy he shot the lion, but the lion moves so fast that by the time he finished shooting, the lion was laying at his feet. Like that's how close it was to killing him. Like he would, if he had missed, it's over for him and the crew and everybody else who's around him. Like it was that fast, that big, that massive. Those are the most dangerous hunting cats on the planet. It's the reason why, you know, the whole King of the Jungle thing. Those are huge, impressive beasts. So I mean, I can imagine if that thing's hunting at night. I mean, that sounds like a horror movie. Like.
And if you watch the show Zoo, oh, that shit is on another level. It's like that.
Oh yeah, that shit's terrifying.
It's like that movie that you're talking about, AJ. Val Kilmer, but on a whole nother level. It's about animals being conscious. Like, what if animals were like conscious to a fact to where they didn't hunt to sustain themselves, but they hunted for sport, like humans. So like hunting humans for sport.
Yeah, that would be
and not just lions, dogs, cats, birds, everything. And like they all have their own connection with their own species to where like
they can communicate with each other and murder us.
Pretty much. It's very good.
That sounds terrible.
I didn't mean to take the stuff like that.
It is. It's a very terrifying show. It's good though.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then I also started this other joint called Our Planet. And they're just talking about, I mean, it's like David Attenborough talking about, you know, the way the world has changed and stuff like that. And I think it just starts out with like talking about different just different places and the life that lives there. And there's like talking about these birds in the jungle. Like there's this one species, and it's like when they go to mate, it's like one like nigga bird, and he recruits like 3 other niggas to like do a dance for the female bird, and like they practice a number.
Like those quartets. The
quartets.
Yes.
They practice a little dance, and then they like go over and do it for the female bird. I was like, yo, that's crazy.
Yo, fam, you got me on this dance? I got you, man. Don't worry about it.
They like the Temptations and shit.
They just turn around and slide out.
I'm saying. It was. Yeah, they make a bird voice to
my
me.
Sunshine and shit. I got Sunshine looking like Temptations. That man can't see you, Otis.
Sunshine.
You got Otis ready in the back.
Temptations got the idea from the bird crew.
Birds.
From the birds.
That would
stepping
be
out, high stepping out. It's kind of like
I
peacock.
couldn't believe that shit.
Peacocks will like they'll try to like flirt with anything. Like I've seen the video of like a peacock like flirting with a chicken. Like there's a rooster there, and then there's a peacock, and there's a chicken, and the peacock's like,
yeah, you see the colors.
You see this.
You see it.
See these colors, girl. You see these. I'm shining this bitch.
Yeah.
Shiny.
Shine.
You want that lame ass
and
rooster,
those
or you want
chickens
all
were like digging it. They were like just like staring at him. Like they were really, the chickens was just like,
wow.
Like I was like, this is some weird thing. Like the peacock's like, ain't no female peacocks around, but some chickens. It's a chicken. He was just keeping himself sharp. That's
right.
All.
Saying peacocks were basically those dude with the gold chains and the gold teeth. And
I think peacocks are much more debonair than that. They're like
they're
peacock.
like Bond.
Yeah, they're James Bond, except for without any of the skills.
Just all the suaveness.
Yeah, all the suaveness of James Bond, none of the skills
that you know of.
None of the skills.
That's true.
I mean,
peacocks are too flashy to be spies.
That's true.
They're too flashy.
Hey, you seen what Too Flashy gets you in Demon Slayer?
Oh, damn. Wow.
That's no spoilers, but I'm just saying.
But yeah, that was
no such thing as spoilers.
That was entertaining. And then started the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. That's back on Prime.
I didn't start that.
I've heard that's a great show, but
it is.
all the advertisements make me not want to watch it. Like none
AJ,
of
what
that's
is your
funny.
life?
Yeah.
It's not none of that's funny. Like, isn't she supposed to be a comedian? Why are
Yeah.
none of the advertisements of her being funny?
That
They
sounds
gotta
like a
save
you
the
problem.
jokes.
No,
They gotta
it is
save
like
the
an
jokes for the
advertising
actual
problem, sir.
show.
It's an absolute me problem. But I look at it and I'm like, this is not funny. And people keep telling me it's funny, and I'm like, don't do this to me, people. Don't get me to watch this show and then be disappointed, because then I'm gonna blame all of you for.
Why
I
is
mean,
it
I
a
wouldn't
show?
say the show is like super funny. I would say it's just it's a really good show.
Mm.
We
Like
should
I
really
don't
do a watch along on this channel.
like I don't really watch it to laugh. It's just a good show.
Okay.
You
And,
don't
like,
laugh
every
nigga?
now and then the humor
Every
is
now and then the humor hits me, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like that old school. It's that hey guy, you know, that type of humor back in the 50s and shit.
Yeah, where they had to yell because they didn't have boom mics back then, Preston. They didn't have a way of hearing the voice.
No,
Y'all
saying
bugging. That thing is hilarious.
I wouldn't go that far.
I've been everybody who's
It's
seen
just a
it
good
knows
show.
about it.
AJ, just think of it. Don't come in it with oh I'm gonna laugh my ass off. Just go in it. I'm just gonna have an occasional chuckle. But it's just overall it's a good show. So
it's really well written. It's well like designed. And it's really well shot. Like, I mean, you know, even if you don't laugh,
because it's not
funny.
That's
you've been hating. You've been hating. That's that's your thing. I understand, but you
that
got to
is my
watch the
thing.
show. You got to watch the show.
HaterCon 2077 shirts coming.
2077. We need that. We need that. And then I've been playing Slay the Spire for DCGG's Game Club. I didn't think I was gonna like it because I don't prefer roguelikes because I don't like to start over when I die. Like, I worked hard on this. Like, come on, who has time? But it's been pretty decent. It's definitely held my attention. And it's easy for something that I can like play on my phone when I like walk away from here. Like, you know, with game streaming or whatever. And I can't do that with Rocket League and Halo. And but yeah, also been playing some Rocket League, a little bit here and there, mostly Slay the Spire.
Surprise.
Don't hate, appreciate.
Whoa.
Okay.
You
don't be a hater, nigga. Be a greater nigga. All right.
Do you? You don't tell LeBron to say, no, LeBron, you had too much court time. Too much court time. Wait till the next game. You don't tell him that. Nah.
If I was playing LeBron, I absolutely would tell him that. I would tell LeBron that. I'm like, come on, LeBron, man, get off the court, man. Too much court time. Get out of here. Go see your family. I would say all kinds of stuff to LeBron if I was playing LeBron.
Rip. But I think that's it for me for this week. So yeah, what's good with y'all this week? This past week.
All right, let's let JK go next. This man always takes forever.
That's why you go last.
To beating y'all asses in this Rocket League.
Wow.
That was cold and unnecessary.
That's why I'm not even going. Go ahead, Tech.
I'll go next.
All right.
Go for it.
So I probably watched a lot more stuff than I remember, but mostly what comes to mind. I caught up on Demon Slayer. Glad it didn't end the way I thought it was going to end. Since we got spoiler sensitive people in the audience, I don't want to say anything about the ending, but yes, I'm glad it didn't end the way I thought it was going to. But that triggered. I'm sick and tired of not knowing what's going to happen next, so I read the entire comic over the weekend.
The whole manga? Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm done with it. Well,
Dude,
I didn't start at the beginning. I started.
Okay.
Started from that point all the way to the end. I mean, why would I start at the beginning? I already saw all that stuff. So yeah, I completely know how the story ends now, which is pretty cool. It was all right. I mean, not my favorite anime ending, but still.
Not my favorite either.
But
Time skip was nice.
Yeah, I mean, it was also kind of strange. Like, I couldn't really tell who was who again. I was like, wait a minute, is that? I mean, I can tell who some people were, but other people, it's at one point, I can't talk about it, but at one point, one character, I was like, they shouldn't be that close in the time skip. And I was like, that doesn't make sense to me. But then maybe I'm mixing characters up.
So I wouldn't say. I mean, no, I guess I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But we'll talk about it off stream that way. But so I read the entire Demon Slayer manga. That's what I was doing on the weekend. I also caught up on Dragon Ball Super's manga, Boruro's manga, and Jujutsu Kaisen. What's one more than Black Clover's manga, and I think that's it. And Witch's Stone, which isn't a manga but has a very anime feel, which I'm still enjoying. And then as far as what I watched, or to round out what I watched Star Trek Discovery. I think I actually have an episode to watch this week because I didn't watch it this week. And so I'm one episode behind there, but still probably the best sci-fi show on television right now for me. And then because I had caught up on Star Trek Discovery, I was like, Paramount Plus was like, hey, what about Picard? And I was like, oh no. And then it started, so I had to watch it, and then I watched the entire season. So I'm also caught up on Picard, which had to do a lot with synthetic life forms. So goes into our AI conversation, which is why I'm friendly to AI, because that synthetic life form arc was quite enlightening into why we should be friendly to our AI brethren.
Overlords.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, brethren. Obviously, they're not going to take us over right away.
What's my girl? The board captain.
Oh, I forget her name. I always forget her name, but it's the 7 of 9 or something like that. Like she's, but I don't remember what they call her, what her human name is. They call her 7 of 9, but she's also
great character.
Somebody else. She's dope.
Great character.
Every character on Picard was dope. I mean, Picard was probably the worst character, but everybody else was cool. Like I liked everybody on that show, which is why I binged it and finished all the episodes. And I'm waiting for. At first, I didn't think there was going to be a season 2 because it's been 2 years, but I forgot about pandemic stuff, so that'll slow it down. So the next season's actually, I think, starts in March. But that's it for me.
Cool. Tech, what about you? What's good with you this week, man?
The Discovery of Witches. My wife and I have I watched this on Carl's recommendation, and we have binged the shit out of it. So much so that we stayed up until I think almost 3:00 Monday, finishing season 1 in one sitting. And again, we have children to raise, so that was a hard morning, but so worth it. Show's fantastic. I don't even know what it is about it, like that fully captures me, but it gets me. It was good. And besides that, behind on all anime, absolutely behind. Played a little bit of Rocket League, played a little bit of Halo. I was finding it hard to get into by myself. Played some Apex, which was, I guess, fun. I almost play Apex now, kind of like because it's like just my go-to. Not that like I want to play it. It's just that if I only have like 5 minutes, I'll play a quick game. Which sounds sad, but that's all there is. I got out of my single player bug that I had. I haven't opened up Watch Dogs again in like this whole week, so probably won't again for a while until that bug hits me again. Sorry, Creston. But yeah, outside of that, it's really just been the Discovery Witches. Oh wait, no, I did watch Free Guy, and that was okay. It wasn't like an outstanding movie, but I enjoyed it. But yeah, nothing else really going on.
Grass Carl, let's go with y'all.
I'll go next. So I haven't really been I'm lying. We've been watching a lot, but we've just been watching a lot of Married at First Sight because we were way behind. We were 2 seasons behind. We just wrapped up Atlanta. What's after Atlanta?
What is after? Is y'all already saw New Orleans, right? That was before Atlanta.
Yeah, we saw New Orleans.
That's a great question. New Orleans was what season? 12? I mean,
I
not
want to
New
say
Orleans, Atlanta.
11.
So Atlanta was 12. What was 13? I gotta look it up.
But yeah, we've been catching up on that. Watched a bit of Abbott, caught up on Abbott Elementary.
I forgot to mention that. Yep, Abbott started that one. Funny as hell.
Still great. It's a great like lunchtime show.
Yes, that's exactly when I've been watching that.
Hey man, that boiled chicken sandwich thing, I almost lost it.
Yo.
That man was eating in the car. He was crazy.
Boiled chicken.
Sandwich, I almost lost it.
He was like, I could put salt on it. No, I ain't gotta explain it to y'all.
At first I thought y'all were blowing smoke with how good that show is, but no, it's absolutely fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Black Office.
Oh, 13 is Houston.
Oh, Houston, yes.
That shit was a mess too.
Really?
Bruh.
I just think they have to pick always have to pick the wild card motherfuckers, like, to keep it interesting. Because there's never been a season where it's been peaceful.
Yeah.
Like, normal. There's always that wild card of, like,
Boy, is there a wild card?
Producers got to step in and be like, let him on the show. What? Especially with Chris, that motherfucker got problems. Like, that's some abusive ass shit that he did to that girl. To keep kind of like disappearing and coming back in and kind of giving her like a thread of hope. Like, oh yeah, I can't. A reason I want to be with you is because I'm afraid I'm gonna fall in love with you.
What
and
the
she's
fuck
like, oh
was
my
that?
god. I was like, oh man, this dude. Somebody needs to snatch this dude up, dog.
That's player 101.
Did that work on the chick?
What's up?
Did she fall for that though?
Almost.
That's
She
player
close.
almost fell for it a few times.
That's player 101.
That is player 101. Like, I've heard that maneuver. Like, I mean, it's actually your opening move. It's like your opening gambit to your. You gotta after that you see how she reacts, and then you gotta go in. Like then you get your chest on.
He was one of them church niggas, dog. You can't trust them motherfuckers, dog. I swear. Like the ones that always just like put it out in front of like, oh, like there's
as like image.
dog. Like, okay, we get it. You're Christian, but this motherfucker was just like leaning too hard on that shit. So I was like, yeah,
he's just like something's up. You're overcompensating, and so why are you overcompensating?
Absolutely. So, but yeah, that man was that's like literally like some. If that dude was dating my daughter, like he would wind up missing. Like he was that terrible of a.
Listen, let me know when you're ready to bury the body. I mean, talk to the man.
I'm not in this conversation.
Or disintegrated.
Of course you're not, JK, because you would narc.
So yeah, so that's just been consuming my life. And then I started watching the Cuphead show on Netflix. Yeah, so it's been really fun. I've been enjoying it, especially seeing the different characters like the frogs. And
does it get you wanting to play the game?
Not really, because it's a totally different vibe. I mean, it's the same vibe, but it's like it doesn't. So the game makes the the Cuphead and I forget his brother's name, but it makes them as like action heroes, and here they're more kind of like whimsical. They're like, let me just they kind of take that same role as a typical cartoon character of being accidentally beating enemies or whatever. They don't in the cartoon, they're not powerful. They don't have powers like they do in the game. Which is weird, but I enjoy it. I just enjoy it as a regular cartoon, and You know, I just love that. I love that art style. I love the aesthetic. So it's been fun. It's been a nice like lighthearted break from all of this Married at First Sight and uh you know apocalypse around us. Um and then
And a laugh to keep from crying.
and then
100%.
in gaming, I have been doing a lot of gaming.
Okay.
So I just beat Resident Evil Revelations 1 I think last Friday, if I'm not mistaken. And I started part 2. So I'm about 3 hours into that game. 1 and 2 is definitely a different vibe. 2 is kind of it's a vibe of like the evil within, and there's a sprinkle of Last of Us in there as well, which in comparison to the first Revelations, the first Revelations was classic Resident Evil. You know, you're in this abandoned ship and you're trying to find out what's going on. With 2 is like the enemies, the setting, everything is very evil within, which I don't mind, but it's not as good as Evil Within in that sense. So so it's a little jarring, but we got past that part and starting to explore the island a bit more. So it's been good so far. I'm still playing through Ninja Gaiden Sigma 1. The shit's still hard, but making progress. Uh, I started playing No More Heroes 1, but then I stopped and just went straight to 2 because 1 is an old Wii game,
Oh damn.
and it is very just outdated design, and it was just getting in the way of the fun of that game, which was fighting the bosses. So in between the bosses, they make you go and do all these chores and odd jobs so you can build up your money in order to pay the deposit to go and face the next assassin. Um, so it was annoying as I just kind of got tired of it. I got the gist of it. I was like, okay, this is cool. Let me go on to the second one. And the second one is way more streamlined. So you could just go straight to the bosses. You don't have to do the side missions
Busy
if you
work.
don't want. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It was straight up busy work. So so yeah, I'm enjoying that. So hopefully I should be wrapping that up pretty soon. And then yesterday I spent some time. So Steam has this thing called the Steam Next Festival, which is basically allows for any developers to put their game demos up on Steam and allow people to download them and try them out. Kind of like if you go to PAX or uh, you know E3 back when they started doing more indie game stuff. So it's just really just kind of a way to try out a bunch of new games and new concepts, really, because it was very experimental stuff. So I played about 5 games. One of them is called Turbo Overkill, which is like a classic arena style shooter. But the gimmick is that your character has a chainsaw on his leg, so you can like slide and like
What?
chainsaw people.
That sounds like some shit you would be playing. What the fuck?
It's great. It's great. I'll show you a trailer for that. Um, the other one is Soldiers, which is cool. It's just a Metroidvania. You're like this soldier. You're going through and trying to rescue other soldiers. Blah blah blah. Just a Metroidvania. There's this other joint called Mad Shot, which is kind of it's a roguelike uh My Friend Pedro. It's actually really fun. The only mechanic that I don't like is that you have a roll, but you're not invincible on the roll. So you roll and you still run into enemies, which is weird. Because usually when you have a roll, you can roll through and dodge. Um, but that part doesn't make sense. So that was cool. And then they had a Warhammer 40K Shadas something something. They have some subtitle. Which was okay. It was fine. I think it's built more for co-op. You could do four player co-op on there. And then the last joint that I played was called Boundary. Boundary is, and Tex actually saw me play it yesterday. You're basically like astronauts, and you're shooting each other in space. It was very fun, way more fun than I thought it was gonna be. Uh, it's no, the demo is on Steam, so you can download it right now.
When is Next Fest over?
I want to say the 27th. What's today?
The 24th.
Yeah, I think the 27th. I think it's the last day. Let me double check. But yeah, like try definitely if you got a PC and you do any kind of PC gaming, check out Steam Next Fest because there's a lot of cool stuff on there. If you're kind of tired of just like how I am right now, I'm a bit burnt out from the AAA space. A lot of these games are just getting way too big and way too long. So I'm kind of craving more streamlined and linear games that I know I can finish with, under like 20 hours or so. Because even like Horizon, Elden Ring, they're talking like, Horizon's like over like almost 60 hours and Elden Ring is, maybe over 100 hours. I'm like, dog, come on now. I mean, they're amazing games, I'm sure, but I can't really dedicate them that much time to these one game like that if it's not multiplayer. So, but yeah, that is it for me.
Is that for you? All right, bet. Carl, what's here with you this week, man?
Not not a lot.
Okay.
So I've been hunting for anime since everything is pretty much done that I was watching anime wise.
You can play anime fighting games.
Yeah, no. There's this one I started last night that might be interesting. I don't remember what it's called, but apparently Kishin came from another realm, wiped out a bunch of generals. 150 years later, the only people that stood up against these demons called Kishin are
What are you talking about,
only
Orient?
Huh?
You talking about Orient?
Is that Orient?
Yep.
Yep, it sure is.
I feel dirty a little bit. I don't know why.
The demons got the star shaped mouth with the fucking teeth.
Oh god. Oh,
yeah,
God.
that's Orient, my guy.
Sure. That's me. I'm the type of guy watching Orient. Wow.
Damn.
It seems like it might be. I think I don't even think I got to episode 2 yet.
It gets better
because that's the one that's dubbed, and I'm like, I'm not doing it to myself. I'm just gonna leave it.
Where are you watching this dubbed? I'm watching on Verve, and it's all sub.
No, Verve has the first episode dubbed.
What? Nah, I ain't experienced no shit like that.
I didn't see that.
I mean, maybe your Verve service isn't as good as mine, but watch it on Verve dubbed.
Why would you watch it? I mean,
why would I watch it dubbed?
To each his own. To each his
not
own.
Why? Not why would you? But so you're saying you haven't watched past that because they're not dubbed?
Correct.
I thought you were saying you didn't have access to. Okay, never mind.
No.
I got you. I'm tracking that.
If I don't have to read, I won't.
Understandable. I got you.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. There's okay. Oh yeah, I was watching another anime. Just this is okay. I feel like they still got me because I just want to see what happens. But like each episode isn't exactly thrilling. It's like all right. It's like I think it's called The Curious Case of Vanitas.
Oh, I got that on my list. How is it?
Like I said, it's okay. There's vampires and humans know about each other. There was a war. And then there's two factions of vampires. Really only one, but so all vampires were born on under the red moon, and there's this one legendary vampire born under the blue moon. They were scared of this guy, so they kind of pushed him out of their society, and supposedly he cursed them. And he had a grimoire called the Book of Vanitas. And then you fast forward to this vampire that seems to think the blue moon is beautiful. Everybody else is like scared of when a blue moon shows up. And there's this guy that he runs into called Vanitas, and he has the Book of Vanitas. And he's able to like fix vampires that are curse bearers. So there's some vampires can be cursed in which their true names are corrupted, and then they can just transform and just go ravenous and kill everybody, not just humans, but like other vampires.
Well, I'm sensing a theme, man. Aren't you watching another show like this?
Am I? What other show is this?
Where the niggas got blood rage and the one nigga try to kill the whole other nigga family?
That witches song. Discovery Witches. Yeah.
Look.
Yeah, there's a theme here. Somebody's bloodthirsty is what
I'm saying.
Look, it's a good thing blood doesn't taste good. That's it could be problematic, but yeah. So the story is about this one vampire that you kind of know there's something special about him. He's able to drink somebody's blood and get their memories a little bit. That's a special power. They just kind of hint that like maybe 5 episodes in. And you just know that that's going to come up again. And
absolutely,
there's something special about him. Like right now, he's a strong vampire, but he's not particularly old, and he's not particularly remarkable. But you just know somehow he's going to be. And this Vanitas guy is a human, so he knew that legendary vampire, but it's not him. But he was given that name by that vampire, named him after the book. And so they're trying to seek out curse bearers, restore their name. But there's like these political dynamics between mainly vampires, but also vampires and humans. And you're just trying to I just want to see what's going to happen. I want to see when is he going to break out? When is he going to be super powerful? Noe is the protagonist vampire. Anyway, so it's okay. It's not blowing me away right now. It's no jujutsu. Like that came out the gate just like being amazing. But maybe it'll get better. And there's another one, also don't remember the name, but it's like a little kid. He's not a little kid. He's 18. So actual rare high school, and he's a senior in high school. He's like a karate person. His father owns a dojo. And, growing up, his father's trying to teach him principles. Like he's actually really good, but he was never all about the principles of martial arts. And then one day, dude comes from China, I guess he knows Kung Fu, and murders his father in front of him.
Oh, damn.
Because his father tells him not to enter the fights between me and him, and there's this whole thing. So now...
That's Kenshi.
Kenshi?
Yeah, like there's a Kenshi Strongest Fighter or something like that.
Oh, Kenichi?
Kenichi.
It could be. I don't remember these names.
I think that's it.
I look at the pictures. I read the little the summary. I'm like, okay, that might be decent. So that's so far that's the mystery is grabbing me enough. Again, I'm not blown away by it yet, but I'm actually, I don't know which one I'm enjoying more. It's kind of weird. Like, I feel like this one is a better anime, but there's more mystery, and I'm more curious about the case of Vanitas anime, which is kind of odd, but anyway, so he's trying to track down this guy. Who is he? He wants to believe his father's a good guy, but there's a chance that he's not, and he was killed because he'd done something in his past. He doesn't know much about his father's past. So he's trying to avenge his father. He's trying to know about his father, and in so doing, it seems like he's going to have to get stronger as a fighter, level up. And I'm hoping he's going to have to learn some kung fu techniques because he's a karate person. He's Japanese. But I have a feeling he's going to have to learn some Chinese martial arts. I watched a movie, Fistful of Vengeance.
Yes.
I just wanted to watch a mindless movie, right? And then I found out, because I was looking forward to the second season of Wu Assassin.
That's the
I'm like, wait a minute, this is freaking Wu Assassin. So I'm like, I guess we're not getting a second season. They're just gonna give us a movie and then it's over. I'm guessing.
That's it.
So I'm like, wow. I felt some type of way once I realized it's really, the continuation of Wu Assassin. Mindless action, but good action. There's good parts of the action. Sometimes the choreography is pretty lame. I'm like, dude, your hand is nowhere near his face. You didn't punch him at all. Like, I see this. And that kind of upset me a little bit because usually Asian movies, they go hard with that. Like, to the point where mofos are actually getting punched and getting hurt because,
Tony Jaa?
Yeah.
Tony Jaa he actually hits the people. Like, they actually hit him. He doesn't even... Yeah, the protector. It was like a one-shot scene where he had to like basically walk up a bunch of stairs. He hit everybody, all of them.
What?
Hit through people. When they threw people off the thing, like it's a one shot, so they can't really do any cuts or anything like that.
No cuts.
So they have to. So he's striking these people, and if he's hitting them in the face, he's really hitting them in the face. If he's hitting them in the stomach and the chest, they're wearing pads. But yeah. If he's going at him and that he's kneeing people in the stomach and stuff, but they save those heavier shots for farther up so that his stamina is lower, so that it's like harder for him to do harm to people, because he's at the point where now he can throw these punches as hard as he wants, these kicks and these punches as hard as he wants to, because like he's got more energy. He's a human. He's not really the protector in real life.
He's not
tired.
Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee would have no problems.
Well, Tony Jaa actually has a special story though. He can jump really, really high, and he did that because he learned to jump that high because he thought the people in the kung fu movies were jumping that high. He didn't know they were using wires. So this Joker's got like a 5-foot vertical leap.
Yep.
Because it's ridiculous.
I'm saying that is not something human beings
would love to have been training with Tony Jaa. That's how high this guy can jump. Like, if you
ever seen, jump higher than Jaa.
He's one of the highest jumping individuals I've ever seen. I don't know if he's ever like done like a competition to measure it.
There's the video of him jumping up, flipping,
and then kicking
a street light and dropping back down.
What? Yep.
Now,
that's ridiculous.
It's not like a super high street light, but the fact that, like, it doesn't seem like that should be possible for him to do.
Yeah. He's a freak of nature. But anyway, yes, they do in a lot of those movies, they actually do hit you in the face.
Yeah.
That's not what's happening in Fistful of Vengeance.
No.
They cared about people's faces.
Yeah.
And
the movie was worse for it.
Oh man, make me believe.
Well, that's progress in some sense. Like, the stunt people are actually human in this movie.
I mean, just pay them. Am I right? Just pay them more. It's okay.
Just pay them.
I need this to be believable.
Yeah.
I mean, but other than that, it was enjoyable. Like Wu Assassin, nothing too deep, and that's what I was looking for at the time. So that's great. I started to watch I think this was last night, the Ben Affleck movie, that came out years ago. Special
The
forces.
Town?
Huh?
The accountant.
The
Yeah.
Town?
It's not the accountant. He was like a special
Oh.
force.
Oh.
And then he's like joining up with his homies from special forces to do some operation or whatever.
Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about.
I think it was actually a Netflix movie.
Oh, yeah. And they one of them I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a while back.
One of them betrays them. I know that. That's how it always
That
happens.
has to happen.
Yeah,
Like, you see it a mile away. But
one of their best friends betrays them, and then they have the heartbreak drives them through the rest of the movie, and then they murder their best friend. Yeah.
We all know who that would be in this group.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, none of us are dumb enough to place our hearts in your hands, Tech. So when you murder one of
I was
us,
talking about Beast.
Word.
Wow.
He already know he would be the first one to die in this group.
look. So I think this movie came out in like 2018 or 2019, something like that.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It sounds about right.
Definitely pre-pandemic for sure.
Yeah.
And when I saw like the little preview thing on Netflix, I'm like, this is not going to be great. But I was desperate for mindless stuff, and I didn't want to grind through like a series. I wanted like a quick
One and
hitter.
done. Yep.
I stopped the movie. I don't even know. Maybe I was just in the wrong mindset because I could do mindless with the best of them, but like that thing was not amazing. Like I stopped it, and I don't think I'm gonna pick it back up. But yeah, I tried to do that last night. It wasn't working for me. Yeah, I don't think I really saw any TV shows. Because most of the stuff I really want to watch is kind of done. There's stuff out there like I should probably catch up on One Punch Man from a million years ago. Because after the first season, I haven't gone back, so I could go One Punch Man. I should go on Attack on Titan, but I haven't mentally prepared for it yet. So, and I probably for that one I probably need to start at the beginning just to be fresh, and then I could just binge all the way through. But I got to get my mind right. So many body parts and blood getting
from the jump.
From the jump, it's unrelenting. Somebody dies every episode, brutally.
Yeah.
So I got to be ready for that. But after saying all this, I realized I watched more stuff than I realized. I'm like, I didn't watch anything, but apparently I did.
Nothing that was notable.
Nothing. Zero that was notable. Because Demon Slayer had to run out. Bunch of jerks.
That's it for you, Carl?
Yeah, that's it for me. Nothing else.
All right, JK.
All right.
What's good with you this week?
Gaming, Apex, Fallen Order, Halo. I was gonna crack open Seafood today, but I got home.
That gameplay looks fantastic. I don't have a PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm gonna crack it open today and start playing. I may start playing it later and start streaming it.
All the levels without aging. Like I probably finish it directly as a child.
Well, if we can have infinite lives, and actually that'd be an interesting concept to have infinite lives, but each death you take multiplies your age.
Isn't that how Seafood works?
No, you die eventually.
He dies eventually, but like if you're immortal, you'll be immortal, but like usually immortals stay young, stay that age for the rest of their life. But like what if you're immortal and every time you die, you age?
That would suck.
That's terrible.
That would suck. Because if I wanted to torture my enemies, I would just keep killing them until they were like catatonic. And it's like You're alive, but
what kind of life are you living?
you're trapped inside that body. That's all it is.
It'll be
Like
interesting
hot
concept. I didn't
skin
say it was
over
a good
the
concept. Didn't say it was a good concept. Just saying. Been watching Ozark, and I've been having problems with this fucking family, dog.
He sounds so sad.
I'm not sad. I'm pissed off because the brother's dumb as fuck.
Yeah, dog. He can't afford to be the. You know, we know everything is crazy, dog. We know, but you gotta play
Facts.
along. You gotta play along.
Oh,
This you
spoiler
can't.
alert, whatever. I don't care
God
anymore.
damn.
It doesn't matter, JK.
You're right.
Speak the truth.
You're right. But yeah, the son did upgrade. He upgraded hell a lot. I saw it. I saw the little grow up.
Damn.
Sister's still dumb as hell. Mom's dumb as hell. Marty, the only one smart in this thing, trying to get stuff out. When he said, "Oh no, let's do this. We can do well." I like this bitch want to be a cartel boss.
Yeah, she got bit with the bug.
She want to be a
It's a
cartel
bug.
Yeah, you never been bit by the drug lord bug
I
before.
don't even like saying that word on camera because I'm afraid that they might see it as a challenge. That's how much I don't think I can get bit by that bug.
But nah,
Facts.
I've been liking it so far. I'm on the 3rd season. I think like 8 episodes, 7 episodes, something like that. That's been good. Of course, been watching One Piece. I started watching Strongest Sage with the Weakest Crest.
That's a okay one. Carl,
That's a good one. It's a pretty good one. It's like what was that joint where the Demon King came back, was resurrected, and went to demon school?
You talking about that Chinese show?
Not that one. There's another one. It's a Japanese one. It's a Japanese anime where he goes back. He comes back, and like all the nobles or quote unquote nobles or elites.
Oh, you're talking about I know what this is. I know what this is. It's gonna kill me because
I can't remember what it is either. But when I do, we'll post up in the Discord. But it's kind of like that to where this person is like strong as shit, but nobody sees him as being strong. So it's very interesting. It's good though. Superman and Lois, that's been getting very interesting with the whole Bizarro thing. Naomi's still trying to build up. A lot of people in one of my Facebook groups is like, why did we trade in Naomi for Black Lightning? Because and so I was like, well, you just gotta give it some time. But we'll see what happens with that.
Wait a minute, they liked Black Lightning and they were saying Naomi wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
How you feel about that, AJ?
I don't think we got enough time, Swan.
we don't. That's a whole other thing.
Black Lightning was okay. It wasn't the greatest, but it was okay.
Okay.
The Fistful of Vengeance watched. Really good. Orient. I watched one episode of Sabuki Bisco.
What?
Yeah. It's it's about I don't even know what it's about really. I'm on the first episode, so like it really told anything. Like a post-apocalyptic world, and one of the guys is like an outcast who has a huge bounty on his head. I don't know. I still gotta watch to get a gist of it. But
a huge body on his head.
Bounty.
He has a bounty hunt.
Oh,
He
bounty.
bounty on his head. He's a body on his head. I'm done.
Oh my gosh.
Clarify, man. I gotta clarify.
Let's see. AOT, Attack on Titan. That's getting really good. Really, really good. In the hood. Abbott Elementary, hilarious. Euphoria, out of pocket.
Bruh.
After Party, fucking hilarious. That's on Apple Plus. That's pretty good.
After party.
Yeah, it's with Tiffany Haddish, Hope, and a bunch of characters. Basically, it's like a clue mystery.
Is it
Almost.
really on Apple TV Plus, or is it one of their sub subscriptions? Because they're pissing me off with that crap.
It says Apple Plus.
Because you go on Apple Plus, half that crap, you need yet another subscription after you paid Apple to watch it.
This is true.
Nah, fam.
That's how it was for AMC. Just to watch the Discovery of Witches. Shit blew me.
Yeah. Wife got it through Prime, so.
What was I watched? The Ali Wong special on Netflix. That was really.
Oh yeah, I did watch that giant.
That was funny as shit.
He's pretty funny.
She went like her comedic like build up.
Oh, okay.
Her transitions to the different topics are pretty damn good. I won't say flaws, but pretty damn good. But she was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, like Ali Wong.
Yeah. Like, she don't give a shit. She's
She really like Mrs. Maisel.
She really don't care. And
Ali Wong was funny, Kev.
Wow, the disrespect.
I'm saying, like, I can see her. They do a highlight joke, and I'm like, that's funny. Let me check that out. Mrs. Maisel, I haven't seen a funny, like, cut trailer scene advertisement yet. It's always like her standing up, saying something lame to a crowd, and then like canned laughter. And I'm like,
canned laughter. Wow.
It's not real laughter. Nobody's really laughing at that joke. I can assure you. Like, so.
Wow. Oh my God.
I don't know why. It seems like I'm saying something terrible. She should say something good, and then I'll watch the show.
Damn.
Cold-blooded.
Unbelievable. Sorry, JK. I didn't mean to, interrupt your list with that hate.
It was fine. It's fine. It was just cold-blooded by AJ. That's all. Every once in a while he'd be cold-blooded.
Look, man, I just speak the truth. That's all I'm trying to
Chilling
do out
like
here.
a villain. Chill as a lizard. Linus get it. I don't know.
He has no idea what he's talking about.
I don't. Space Force, hilarious shit.
Fucking fantastic. I'm so happy.
I need to watch that.
Space Force's first season got better after halfway. Second season, hilarious.
They're already on the second season.
Fully into its element.
Best episode was the Chinese Prime Minister episode. Chinese General. Hilarious. Hilarious. And of course I've been watching my CW shows. So
God bless you.
Whatever.
Somebody has to suffer.
I've been trying out this new show on Sci-Fi. It's called it's basically about these two girls facing dimensional demons. And
I saw that.
Something and it's something Save the World. It's almost like a Bill. It's almost like a Bill and Ted show, but it's female driven. It's not bad per se.
Anybody know if YouTube TV has sci-fi?
Off the top of my head, no idea.
I'm not sure.
Oh no.
Let me check that out.
I think that's possibly it. Oh, Shadow Warrior 3, I am getting on Tuesday.
Oh yeah, that does come out next week. Damn, man, there's so much shit
So
coming
many
out.
games.
Yeah.
And I think
I should
that
be
is-
more selective like me. I have nothing to play.
that doesn't sound depressing
Is
at all.
is
I
that
know,
a
right?
matter of pickiness or
Broke.
It's a little bit of both. I mean,
It's-
life comes at you fast sometimes, guys.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
Now he's bound.
That's an affirmative on Sci-Fi YouTube TV.
Hey, there you go.
He is now a bound man.
Nice. I want to watch the Cuphead show. I heard different things about it, but I'm gonna watch it, see how it is.
Yeah, I mean, each episode is like less than 20 minutes, so it's not even it's not it's not a big commitment. So
Star Trek Discovery,
it's
like
fine.
AJ said, that's another one. And yeah, and I think it's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. All right, man. So we about to get these games in. Let me move this back to where it belongs. Me and this computer not getting along. Anyway, yeah. So that's it for the podcast. Thanks again for joining us. Definitely let us know if there's something you haven't seen us talk about, you want our perspective on. Follow us at Blerdimension everywhere if you haven't already, namely here on Twitch, on YouTube, and Instagram. If you fuck with the content, give us a heart, thumbs up, follow, subscribe. You know, whatever is platform appropriate. Help us out with these algorithms. We stream the podcast live on Twitch Thursday night, so make sure you come through next week, man. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna switch over for after podcast gaming. Let me see.
The Warriors demolished the Trail.